Winston Cup stars are back at Pocono, attempting to conquer each unique corner. Earnhardt, his last win 44 races ago. The Intimidator knocked on the door last week at Loudon, New Hampshire, coming home second. He's ready. He's due. There have been a pair of Jeffs blocking Earnhardt from the winner's circle. The established Jeff Gordon won 7 times this year, and the new Jeff Burton, the upstart. He's tallied 2 wins, including a win last week. But hold on. Texas Terry leads them all in points, but still seeks that elusive first season win. Today at Pocono, we'll see. The 17th of 32 races in the most competitive series in the world, NASCAR Winston Cup, comes to Superstation TBS live from Pocono, Pennsylvania. It's the Pennsylvania 500. $1,400,000 at stake for 42 Winston Cup drivers lined up and ready to go. And we're ready to follow you flag to flag through the entire day. Let's go trackside right now as Governor Tom Ridge and his son Tom Jr. get ready to give the call to put it underway.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
It's been a bittersweet year for Joe Nemechek. In March, he lost his brother John to a tragic racing accident. In May, he won a big push race at Charlotte. Call him Front Row Joe today. He's got his second pole, and he's gunning for his second Winston Cup victory. And behind him, his teammate, Wally Dallenbach, starts third. Let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
Jeff Gordon goes off 6th here today at Pocono. If this were a June race, you could bet the ranch on him, but he hasn't fared all that well here in July. In fact, this July, he's in the midst of a little bit of a slump. Finished out of the top 15 in the last 2 races, lost the points lead. He and the Rainbow Warriors are looking to turn things around here today at Pocono, pick up season victory number 8. Here's Mike Hogwood.
Rusty Wallace won this race a year ago in July, but he struggled this weekend. He's had to take a provisional starting spot, but they're confident today. They've changed motors. They have a good race setup. They feel they can go to the front. They plan to take some gambles early. To Matt Yoakum.
Dale Earnhardt will start 5th today. For most drivers, a 44-race winless streak would lead them in a state of consternation and frustration. But not the man in black. Earnhardt has been unflinching. His desire and dedication. Last week at Loudon, he came up 6 seconds short of victory. Today, he hopes to quiet the naysayers for good with his 71st career and 3rd Pocono victory. Ken?
And a good day. Ken Squire welcoming you to Pocono, Pennsylvania. You can feel the electricity in the air. Everyone is saying that Earnhardt is back. He's won here twice. He's been injured severely on this track twice, but this looks like it could be his day. Now, this is a track that does not favor new drivers, Buddy Baker. Incidentally, Baker set on the pole for the very first Winston Cup race ever run on this track. As I was saying, this one does not favor those freshman drivers.
You know, Ken, they say you can't win here. You can't win your first race here at Pocono. I disagree. With Joe Nemechek on the pole, Jeremy Mayfield, fastest in practice, Michael Waltrip, his best finish ever, Wally Dallenbach, you could see a first-time winner here today.
Yeah, Michael Waltrip really looking strong. Remember, he had a second here. Now, Greg Sachs, former Winston Cup winner, has joined us. You've been down there with the Robert Yates team. How are things going with them for this weekend?
Yates teams, they race to win. Ernie Irving, he's focused, he's ready. Dale Jarrett, 4th in points, 165 out of 1st. He feels he has to win to pressure the top 3.
Okay, we're focused, we're ready. Get set. Here it comes, the Pennsylvania 500 on Superstation TBS.
The Pennsylvania 500 on TBS is brought to you by Smooth Busch Beer and Easy Drink and Busch Light. Busch, the official beer of NASCAR. By Econo Lodge. Spend a night, not a fortune, at Econo Lodge. By Team Monte Carlo. Chevy, the cars more champions trust. And by AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts.
The Econolodge starting grid for the second time. Joe Nemechek is on the pole at better than 168 miles an hour. Ernie Irvan alongside. In row 2 today, it's Wally Dallenbach, best qualifying spot, and Dale Jarrett. Row 3 has Dale Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon ready to work. For row 4, Ken Schrader and Jeff Green. Up for row 5 is Mark Martin and Bobby Labonte. In row 6, Skinner and Grissom. At row 7, you have John Andretti and Jimmy Spencer. Row 8 today is Bill Elliott and Darrell Waltrip. In row 9, Jeremy Mayfield and Kenny Wallace. Down to row 10, you have Ricky Rudd and Jeff Burton. For row 11, it's Texas Terry Labonte and Ted Musgrave. Row 12 is Sterling Marlin and Hut Strickland. Row 13, Michael Waltrip and Rick Mass. In row 14, Dick Trickle, Bobby Hamilton there. In the 15th row, Derek Cope, flanked by Robbie Gordon. 16th row, Brett Bodine and Ward Burton. In row 17, Morgan Shepherd and Kyle Petty. Row 18, Jerry Nadeau and Chad Little. Row 19 is Ricky Craven and Jeff Bodine. For row 20, it's Rusty Wallace and Johnny Benson ready to work. In row 21, Dave Marcus and David Green among the provisional starters. In-car cameras. There you are in the number 17 as they get ready to roll this one out. And you have Darrell Waltrip ready, waving to the men behind him. Light just came back onto the pace car. We may get another lap before they turn them loose.
Ken, Robbie Gordon is in the pits right now, having trouble already before the race starts.
Now there's Darrell Waltrip's camera. Darrell Waltrip, the number 17, starting 16th outside of that 8th row. And you have your Econolodge camera.
Okay, to be 1 to go this time.
Starting 34th, and there is 1 to go this time by. They turned the lights back onto the truck. Here's the number 88, Dale Jarrett, all fired up on the outside of row 2 today. The 99, Jeff Burton. What a story he is these days. Starting 20th. Watch him slide and glide up through this field. Robbie Gordon's on pit road. Glenn Jarrett's there.
And on the first pace lap, Ken, Robbie Gordon, the oil pump belt broke on the car. Robbie saw the oil pressure fall to 0. Knew there was a big problem. He brought it in. They're trying desperately right now to get a new oil pump belt on, but they're having problem getting a new one to fit on there right now. NASCAR told them they would give them 1 more lap, but it doesn't look like they're going to get that thing done before the green flag falls. Tough break right here before the race even began.
Race analysis, what we're up for today. You see it, about 1,000,004, 42 cars, 200 laps to run, and that race record belongs to Wallace, who was a provisional starter today. A lot of motor trouble for Wallace. 144.8 got it done. And you see them running with that belt through the pits as they're trying to get Robbie Gordon back in this thing.
Kid, you just have to wonder how long had that belt been off when he first noticed that the oil pressure was down. When it's not getting any flow through the engine, it can do a lot of damage.
Boy, I know how badly Robbie Gordon has to feel right now. The adrenaline is pumping. You're ready for the green flag, and to have this happen. And being a newcomer to this circuit, you know, it's just incredible what he's going through right now.
Failed to qualify, Bobby Hillen, Steve Park, Greg Sachs. There you look at the manufacturers lineup for today's race.
And we've got Ford with 10 wins, Chevrolet with 7.
Okay, you see 20 Fords in the field today. Chevrolet has 15 and Pontiac has 7.
Getting ready to shake this one out. They're headed around. Remember, this is a triangular track. They're headed down that very short chute called the short straightaway there. The short chute of 1,780 feet. That'll bring them back onto the front straightaway. That's 3,700 feet long. How much speed do you pull up in there, Greg?
I'll tell you, you run almost 200 mile an hour in this front straightaway.
That's that flat third turn. That's where you can make it or break it. Getting ready for a start. Joe Nemechek brings them down. 2nd career pole, 7th for Chevrolet in 97.
Green flag, green flag.
Got a green. Five wide. On the high bank in turn 1. Nemechek pushes it up in front by 2 lengths.
Boy, oh boy, you can see Wally Dallenbach up front as you ride along here in the outside battery car of Jeff Burton. As they go down into turn 3, you can see Kenny Wallace there in the 81 as they head into the tunnel turn.
Oh, we've got trouble. That is Waltrip in trouble. Spins back underway. Yellow is out. They're going to have caution. Trouble on the tunnel turn. The second turn. Collect them back up and keep going. Yellow is out as they come to the strike. With Nemechek across the line, followed by Dallenbach, Jarrett, Gordon, Ernie Irvan, Earnhardt to the strike. Ernie Irvan back there in 5th, Earnhardt in 6th, Green in 7th. Yellow down.
That side looks good. How about the right? I got a little damage on the right.
The tunnel turn is so critical on this first lap. The cars need to get single file, and they just couldn't do it.
You can see Jimmy Spencer there in the yellow and purple car. Looked like he might have gotten the back of Waltrip. When you go down in that corner, everybody kind of checks up to get through their single file. Looks like it may have been a little contact as they got into turn 2.
Now remember that Waltrip in the number 17 had started in the 16th position, so he's right in the center of the field. Lucky they didn't collect a lot more on that tunnel turn. Darrell Waltrip brings it around with 4 flat-spotted tires. A moment right at the start. Put your heart in your throat. An incident on the second turn in the first lap of the Pennsylvania 500, 24th annual. And let's take a look, gentlemen, at what got this one off to a big start for Darrell Waltrip in number 17. Not the kind of big start he would want. Let's take a look from his in-car camera.
Okay, this is heading down into turn 3. You see just in front of him, Andretti there, an RCA car. You can see right there, he just got sideways. You couldn't really tell whether anybody bumped him or not.
Bill Elliott just getting by from Mark Martin's vantage point.
Yeah, I would have to say that he and Jimmy Spencer just had a light tap there, and it's so easy to happen there.
Steve Burns can give us an update.
And Ken, I was just talking to Jeff Hammond. They came in, put 4 new tires on the 17 car. There's a little bit of sheet metal damage to the right front, but Jeff said they should be okay to go. He said the 41 car got into the back of him.
41 car into the back of him. Grissom back under Green. Remember, it's a 2.5-mile track. Takes a while to circulate it, so they just completed lap 3, working lap 4. Look at Nemechek out in front, and look at Wally Dallenbach coming after him. Dallenbach with his best qualifying run ever, up in 3rd spot today.
You know, that can be a great advantage there. 2 team cars running 1st and 2nd. They can get out there and draft a little bit, help each other. If one car looks a little loose, you can change the angle that you draft them around the racetrack and actually help your teammate get around the racetrack until they can make adjustments.
That's true, buddy. I was surprised to see Wally take a little look going into 1. I think those guys should line up and really work together today.
Wally Dallenbach took an early look, moved from 3rd up into 2nd. Here you see the 88, Dale Jarrett. He's on the pounce, too. He's picked up a spot up to 3rd from 4th. And down this long straightaway they come, well over 200 miles an hour into that 14-degree banking of turn number 1. 3,700 feet long. Longest straightaway in Winston Cup racing.
See Jeff Gordon making a move there, trying to take over 3rd spot as they head down the long back straightaway there.
Battle for 3rd. Here comes Gordon. Ripping it up on the inside. Ernie Irvan coming with him. There's Jarrett's onboard camera. Look at this. 3 wide. Earnhardt making up some time. He is flying down there on that flat corner. Turn number 3.
And anybody that says that Earnhardt's done for, just watch him go right now. I'm going to tell you right now, it's just been kind of a learning experience for he and Larry McReynolds the first part of this year. They have notes now. They're going in the second part of the year. You watch Earnhardt go the second half of the year.
I tell you, Dale Earnhardt continues to be exciting.
Dale Jarrett closing up on Earnhardt, who just sailed by him. What a turnaround for Nemechek and Dallenbach. 1 and 2. Remember Atlanta back in March? Gee, buddy, back then, Nemechek took a provisional to get in the race, and Dallenbach wasn't even in the show.
Look at Jeff Gordon, though, Ken, as we speak. He's trying to get on the inside of Wally Dallenbach, makes the move, going into the turn 3 there. Jeff Gordon is absolutely flying right now.
He's flying. He took positions through the tunnel turn, and Wally had no choice but to let him go when they entered turn 3.
that green car down on the inside. Great run. Here comes Bobby Labonte. He is on the move. He comes up. He's got Jeff Green right there with him.
Jeff Green will regret getting on the high side of the racetrack. That's Kenny Schrader in the 33 trying to make a move there on the inside. You get to the outside of this racetrack, you have to let the inside line go. It's much quicker on the low part of the racetrack.
Definitely, even at the start of the race is even more important. As the race goes on, sometimes the outside groove will come in a little bit more down in turn one.
Look at Schrader sailing. Report is that Robbie Gordon there is replacing Parks and got him back behind the wall right now. Look at Schrader up in 10th spot. Lead is beginning to tighten up. In front. Down that straightaway, Nemechek. Gordon there. Take a look at number 3 going with Ernie Irvan down that chute.
The only friend you have on that racetrack is somebody watching on television back home.
3 wide down into that first turn. That 14-degree banking.
Dale Earnhardt sandwiched between the Yates cars.
Got to be a little unstable. Not the kind of thing that bothers Earnhardt. Look at the 88
into the tunnel.
Dale Jarrett on that tunnel turn gets back under Ernie Irvan. Dale Jarrett's radio in the background.
Now, Earnhardt's got position there, but you see that power of the 28 there. Robert Yates has tremendous power. I'm going to tell you, Ernie Irvan right now down the straightaway is a rocket ship, but look at Earnhardt fight underneath to try to take that spot away.
Dale has given it everything he has through those turns. He's really handling well at this point. Looks like Joe Nemechek and Jeff Gordon are just looking to try to check out on the field. There's awesome power in those 2 cars. They're really showing their strength in that front straightaway.
If you're just joining us, Joe Nemechek set on the pole for today's race, qualified at 53. 292 at 168 miles an hour. 8th different pole winner in the last 8 races. Right now, just barely in front of Jeff Gordon on the charge. Gordon has come from 6th spot.
I just saw something there. Joe Nemechek is beginning to get a little bit loose when Jeff Gordon's right up under him. As they started off turn 1 just a second ago, he got completely sideways.
That brought me a flashback to the June race. I was in that same scenario with Jeff Gordon right on my bumper.
Gets your heart beating?
It sure does.
Huh?
Boy, looking good.
8 laps of 200 are now complete.
Looks good, Big Daddy.
Up in front, Nemechek first, Gordon second, Dallenbach third, Jarrett is in 4th, Irvan is 5th. It's Earnhardt in 6th, and Mike Skinner stays 7th. Leading rookie of the race. Labonte is in 8th, Schrader to 9th, and John Andretti breaks into the top 10. Joe Nemechek trying to win that first Winston Cup race. Out in Denver, Colorado this past week, there was a special invitational golf tournament. $25,000 raised in memory of his brother, John Nemechek, killed at Homestead in a terrible crash earlier this year. His mom was out there, Martha, and brother and sister, and he was out here qualifying, taking the pole, and I think his mother came right back here to see him run today. Boy, he pulls away, and the word is out. Keep away, trying to keep Nemechek trying to keep Gordon back. A little bit of separation back to 3rd place, Wally Dallenbach.
Well, you can see right now Jeff Gordon dropped back about a car length and a half behind Nemechek. Nemechek's showing me a lot of power. This race car is hauling it down the straightaways.
Gordon closes in another time. You begin to see separation here. Front of the field drawing away, which is exactly what they wanted to do. Get themselves some space. They're saying that number 94, that Elliott has lost a hood pin out there. Remember, he just nipped by that incident with number 17. Take a look at Mark Martin here.
He's coming in the pits as we speak.
Glenn Jarrett has the story.
We're standing in Mark Martin's pit, guys, and I asked Steve Mill what was wrong. He thinks they got a loose wheel on the right side. For whatever reason, they did not get the lug nuts snug up tight before the race started. They're going to bring Mark in and put right sides on. Hope that he can stay in the lead lap and then catch an early caution. But as long as this racetrack is, they should be able to do that.
Ooh, Gordon blowing off Front Row Joe. That's what he used to be called by Dallenbach. Actually qualified for the front row in 3 races out of 5 in Grand National competition. Mark Martin backing in again. What's all that about? Back to Glenn.
Well, they had a left rear tire that was flat. It was loose. The mud went loose on the left rear. Mark takes off in a cloud of smoke. Not a very happy person right now. He may be able to get out in front of this lead group. I don't know.
I don't think there's a chance.
He was going to make it if that hadn't happened, but it was the left rear that was loose.
Trying to come up to speed. Takes a while on this track, buddy.
Well, he's got fresh tires on, and the one thing he does not want to do is go a lap down. If he can get back by Jeff Gordon and just stay just in front of him, if a caution comes out, he goes right back around and he's back in contention.
He's sandwiched between the first and second place cars. Jeff Gordon running in front, Nemechek in second, and Dallenbach pulling up a little. Wally Dallenbach moving back into this just a bit. So we have Gordon, Nemechek, Dallenbach, Dale Jarrett, and Ernie Irvan as your front 5 at the present time, and Dale Earnhardt lurking back there in 6th.
Promotional fees and consideration have been paid by the following: Amoco, Plastic Coat, ESOB, and by Close-Up.
Working the 17th lap here on Superstation TBS, Pennsylvania 500. Jeff Gordon going for his 8th win in the early running here out in front. And at number 94, Bill Elliott may be developing a problem, buddy.
We were just noticing a while ago, they reported that he had one hood pin loose, and let's check it out. Okay, you can see right there, there's one hood pin loose. Also, this one over here is beginning to get loose. You can see the end of the hood flapping there. That's going to be a problem later on, unless he gets right up under somebody behind him. Then the hood will stay down, but if he drops back, it's going to lift it up eventually.
They need to hope for early caution so they can get in and tape that hood down. If it continues like that, I believe it'll fly off.
16th place right now for number 94, and Glenn Jarrett can tell us what happened.
Well, on that first wreck over there with Waltrip, he got in the back of Jimmy Spencer when everything jammed up there, and it has messed the nose up. You can see the guys down here, Mike Dean, Joe Gironi, and all the guys working. They've got a piece of sheet metal there, a bunch of tape. Whatever they're going to need, they're hoping to have out here. Bill has to come in. It seems like that the air is getting up under there and pulling the hood up over the pins. One of them is broken. They think now that 2 may be gone. So they're getting ready for whatever they need to do when Bill has to come in. Eventually, if that hood flies up, it could cause major problems, obviously.
Boy, here's one for you, Baker. You look at that. Remember back in the early 70s when Bobby Isaac won that Daytona Firecracker 400 without a couple of hood pins at the end of that?
Well, Bobby Isaac had a very, very good race car, but 9 out of 10 times that problem won't get better. It'll get worse.
Yeah. Take a look at Ernie Irvan closing in on that number 28 as he wheels in on the green and white Wally Dallenbach machine in the main straightaway. One caution thus far, if you're just joining us on Superstation TBS. At the outset, on the tunnel turn, the second of the 3 corners here, Darrell Waltrip doing a 360. Did not get collected, flat spotted the tires, came in, comes back out a lap down in 37th position. Dallenbach started 3rd, came up to 2nd, now runs in 4th. Rusty Wallace, he is attacking. Wallace started the day. Look at him just blasting through here. He started 39th. He had to take a provisional. Not happy with the motor. It was flat. But he is just knocking down the positions. He is now up to 21st position. So what's that, 19, 20 spots as he gets this thing going?
You know, he went back and got a Larry Wallace motor and put in there this morning. It's a good race engine. He says it really goes down the straightaway. He's very pleased with it.
And Mike Hogwood can tell us more about that.
Rusty Wallace, who won this race 1 year ago here in July, just talked to Robin Pemberton, the crew chief. He said Rusty has told him that this car is absolutely perfect. He feels he has a car that can win today. He says he knew all along they would have a good race setup. They just had to get a good motor in it. They've got a good motor in it, and Rusty is flying.
He was angry this morning. I spoke to him briefly. just not happy at all. He is so competitive. And right now, the 91 and 96 winner of this event is closing in strong. Now look at this battle. This is for second spot. That's Nemechek in the 42. Dale Jarrett in the 88. Main straightaway coming by, completing 20 laps. Jarrett closing in on Nemechek.
5:25.
Joe Nemechek had a good ride here in 94, finished third in this race. That was back when he drove in the Hedrick car, which Steve Grissom is now showing.
Joe Nemechek in the 42 just then was taking a little wider groove through turn 1 than you normally take there. That would tell me the chassis might be going away just a little bit. Dale Jarrett closing in the 88.
Greg Sachs, what about the window on fuel here today?
Well, I'll tell you, I talked with a lot of the fellas there. Look at, here goes Skinner on the inside of his teammate, Dale Earnhardt.
6-5.
Back to that window of fuel, looks like 42 laps. A lot of the fellas down there were saying right at 42 is the borderline call.
So we're at lap 21, just about halfway to that first fuel stop, unless something untoward happens on the track. Look at Skinner coming on. Remember, he sat on the pole at Daytona. It took a while for Earnhardt to get this season righted, but he sure has it running pretty well. And here comes Bobby Labonte. 6th, 7th, and 8th spot right there. The green car. Here's Bobby Labonte. Joe Gibbs rigged down on the bottom, making the attack. He's got it. Bobby Labonte, who has the only Pontiac in the top 10 in Winston Cup racing. Boy, you don't want to repeat that one, do you, guys?
Boy, I'll tell you, Skinner really pressed that all the way down to the turn. I was really surprised he didn't lift just a little bit earlier. Bobby Labonte had position, and he made the pass.
The Mel Gibson lookalike in number 18. Looks like a road warrior out there today. Here he comes. Earnhardt was able to escape for just a moment. He had a mirror full of Skinner a little while ago. Well, Skinner got skinned, and here comes Bobby Labonte moving in. Gordon stays first, Nemechek second, Jarrett third, Dallenbach fourth, and Irvin in fifth. Hey, we've got a good one cooking here today in the Pennsylvania 500. Superstation, TBS, delighted to bring it to you.
You know, last week these two guys had a little verbal contact.
Verbal?
Yeah, there was a little confrontation after the race, but those guys are going at it this week. All that stuff is over with the minute the race is over with. You get mad and then you get over it.
Verbal, my purple bunny. Poor Andretti didn't have any back, and he's out there waving his fist at Jeremy Mayfield, the 37 driver. Tell you more about that story as the day. We may want to tell you more right about now.
Meanwhile, Dale Jarrett has taken the second spot from Joe Nemechek.
Dale Jarrett up to second, Nemechek to third as we watch this battle further back. That's Andretti in ninth, and the number 37, Mayfield running in 10th, and Musgrave. What a run Musgrave is having. That Musgrave and that number 16 up to 11th. Remember, he started 22nd today. He was second quick in happy hour yesterday. He's one of the ones they say to keep looking for. And he's had some great runs on this track. Talk about tight running. Talk about competition. You've got it in Winston Cup racing like in no other series. Back to the leaders. Coming around to complete 24 laps this time. Will he win his 8th? Will he go back in front of the Winston Cup standings? Jeff Gordon's there at the moment. The point leader on pit road. Something amiss on Terry Labonte. Let's go to the pits and find out.
Ken, I just talked to Gary Dehart, the crew chief, and he said we have a tire going down, so they're going to change all 4 tires. Terry Labonte started 21st, had faded all the way back to 31st. He's gone.
25 and 5/10 seconds on pit road. Texas Terry, the Iceman, has got to be cool here. So that's the first of the heavy hitters making a pit stop, and that was unscheduled. We're still 9, maybe 10 laps, 12 laps away from when we should see them in the window to make that first tire and fuel stop. Meanwhile, in front, Gordon stays there. Jarrett stays in second. Now, with Gordon out in front and the weather the way it is and the cloud cover we're having, Steve Burns, I think that's the story.
It sure is, Ken. This morning, Ray Evernham said that the Chevys, and theirs in particular, was having trouble actually gaining grip on the racetrack. He said it would be better for us if one of two things happened. One, it's overcast because we'll tighten up. Or two, if we can convince the blimp to fly over top of us and give us some shadow. But he's got the overcast skies. It was very, very sunny yesterday, so a little bit better conditions for him today.
The shadow over this track is number 2. That's Rusty Wallace up to 14th position as he just flew by Bill Elliott. Took out Schrader, just flying. Here he is down on the bottom, going under Andretti in the 98, and he's bringing Bill Elliott along with him as they come up out of the hole from the tunnel turn. Wow. Dynamite is Rusty Wallace at the present time. Let's hope it doesn't hand grenade. Meanwhile, the story on Bill Elliott. Those hood pins out of that car, and it's still running, and he's not having any more trouble, gentlemen.
It doesn't look like the problem's getting any worse. It looks like it's holding its own, and maybe he'll be okay to that first scheduled stop.
Andretti up high. Ricky Rudd slices down to the bottom, picks up the spot. Tire strategy. Matt Yoakum, what about tire strategy as we get close to this first opportunity? Come in, looks like it may be under green.
Well, Ken, I pulled a number of crew chiefs this morning before the race, and they all told me, look, this is the same tire compound and construction that we raced back in June. So expect a lot of two-tire pit stops. Those pit stops are expected to begin in around 9 to 12 laps. A lot of teams looking for track position, so expect some two-tire stops.
You're watching Kenny Schrader there in the tunnel turn, and just behind him, Ricky Rudd. You can see Ricky getting through the corner just a little bit better than Schrader. A lot of times when you follow a car in there, Greg, you'll actually make the car in front of you push just a little bit. It's an aero thing. When you're behind them, it kind of takes the air and pushes it on the back of the car and makes it push out towards the wall.
That's exactly right. It looked just like Ricky pushed Kenny through that turn and made his car move out to the wall and almost opened the door to make the pass.
15th, 16th, and 17th. Schrader, number 33 in the 15th, followed by Rudd, followed by Marlin. Wow. For my money, one of the greatest efforts of the year was down there at Daytona in that race he won 400 several years ago, when with about 20 laps to go, he made up a lap, he being Sterling Marlin, and then blew his way through the field. That was one of the best shows I've ever seen Sterling Marlin put on. Let's see what he's going to do today. He's back there in 17th spot. Now you see John Andretti in the number 98. He's been toying with 10th position and then falling further back, now in 19th. And look at Wallace continue to thunder.
Ken, he's got him surrendering right now. When he comes up there, he's running so fast. You can, he gets a little bit loose there as he heads down toward the front straightaway. He's pushing this car for everything it's worth, and it's worth a lot right now.
Rusty Wallace is going to the front. There's no doubt about that. He is showing that muscle, and that Wallace engine is doing a great job.
39th position up to 12. Keep your eye on Rusty Wallace today as he goes for his 3rd win in this Pennsylvania 500s. Meanwhile, here's that number 8 continuing to motor through. Hut Strickland back in the 20th position. Grissom is in there. Jimmy Spencer 19th, 20th, 21st. And they have Rudd and Marlin getting beneath Kenny Schrader. Schrader on a bit of a high after a great run last week at New Hampshire. The Andy Petrie team very strong on Ken Schrader and very pumped up. They feel they're getting it together. Look at Rudd holding that position from Sterling Marlin to number 4. And here's Marlin right back down in the bottom. 16th position is Rudd for the moment. That moment may end as we come to turn 1.
I'll tell you, that Peter Guile engine in Ricky Rudd's car really showed his muscle on that front straightaway as he pulled back ahead of Marlin.
Yeah, I think I'd have learned a lesson right there. If I was going to pass him, it'd be in the corner, not down the straightaway.
Here's Marlin again, getting a little better line on the bottom off the corner. Closes in on Rudd.
Well, you can see Ricky just back off there, falling behind. He knows the 4 car is getting through the corners better, and maybe he can push him along aerodynamically. They may run faster with the 4 car in front.
Passed him on that Long Pond straightaway, 3,055 feet. And making good use of it there was the number 4, Sterling Marlin.
And in the
leaders
pit, both
on pit
Sapco
road.
cars. Both Sapco cars. Nemechek and Wally Dallenbach.
Steve?
Yeah, Nemechek and Dallenbach in. Now, Nemechek's crew, led by Tony Glover, said they may drop a little bit of air pressure. And the 46 car of Wally Dallenbach, they said they're not going to change much. Just take 4 tires and get back on the racetrack.
This is lap 33. Seems a bit premature, but that's where they want him in. Check him out, and here comes Nemechek rolling. Grissom is in, as is Dave Marcus. Marcus was hurt here 2 days ago. Threw some ribs. Got himself pretty strong into the wall. Good to see David up, moving around, and right back out here racing. What a guy. So both Sapco cars come in at the same time. Grissom has completed his pit stop. Checking on those stops. He's 19 seconds for the number 42 and 23 seconds on Dallenbach. Here's the 94, and let's see them get ready to work on the hood pins. And Rusty Wallace in number 2 is in. Let's go to Mike Hogwood.
And they'll go with 4 tires on the Wallace cars. This has been an emotional first part of the race for this team. High fives all in the pit as Rusty has made his way up from 39th to now challenge for the top 10. 11th when he came into the pit. Left sides are on. Rusty is down and away, 19.6. Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Bill Elliott has brought the car in there, working on the nose of the car, putting some tape on it. This has really killed the downforce. They only changed the right side tires to fill him up with fuel. He was only in for 14.1 seconds. Great pit stop. The reason they're coming in a little early right now is because of the laps they ran under the parade lap. They do not want to cut it short and take a chance of running out of gas here at Pocono. It's a long way around.
Good call, Glenn. Here we see Elliott back underway, strapped up around the nose. 29 pulls on to pit road. And right behind him comes the Sterling Marlin rig. I tell you, that Jeff Green in 29 is going to show. Now there's a ton of cars in. Michael Waltrip is in. Kenny Wallace is in. Steve Burns.
And Michael Waltrip in. They're going to change right side tires. Doesn't appear that they've made any chassis adjustments. Maybe a lot of these cars are talking about being loose down here. Now they're going to go ahead and change all 4. Pretty clean pit stop so far. A good stop for Michael Waltrip. 18 seconds even.
Did you see on that pit stop with Wallace, with Michael Waltrip, they took tape off the front of that car. That's because the car was loose. That'll help the car get a little tighter.
Leader on pit road.
And we talked to Ray Evernham a moment ago. They were debating this car is very loose all the way around the racetrack. They decided to make a wedge adjustment, a chassis adjustment, as opposed to air pressure. Another quick pit stop. Let's go to Matt Yoakum.
Down and away. No major chassis adjustments for Dale Jarrett. He likes the attitude of this car. A good stop. Glenn Jarrett.
We got both Dale Earnhardt and Bobby Labonte, and now Ricky Rudd are in. Labonte is going for a 4-tire change, as is Earnhardt. Major chassis adjustment on Earnhardt. He's down and away in 21 seconds. Bobby Labonte down in about the same time, 20.2. So good stop for Labonte. Ricky Rudd still in. They are also changing. It looks like 4 tires from this vantage point. Yes, Rudd is down now. He's away.
28 onto pit road. Ernie Irvan coming in. Totally focused. Greg Saxon pointing out. He talked to him this morning. The 71. Marcus in trouble here. Getting 5-man power. Now to get that thing cranked. Ernie Irvan in. Robert Yates' crew going to work. Irvan was the leader as he pulled off the track. This will give Jimmy Spencer in the 23 a shot at the lead briefly. Ricky Craven now pitting. Ward Burton, he brings his car on pit road. Let's go to Glenn.
We've moved down to Ernie Irvan now. Ernie, he stalled the car. They just now got it no, it still hasn't refired. And finally it does. Good stop for Ernie, but boy, he's losing a lot of time now. They did a 4-tire change and also a major track bar adjustment on the car. He did not like the way the car was working. He was pushing real badly. So Ernie Irvan down and away, but had a lot of trouble getting out.
And Dave Marcus's crew. How to enter them in the Olympics for endurance. Back to the garage area. They gave it a shot to get it fired. It wouldn't do, and they just make the turn. Now here's Jimmy Spencer, who has been leading, coming onto pit road. He does an inheritance on first spot, Spencer. He's going to give it up. Derek Hope would have had it, but he pits at the same time. Johnny Benson, for the moment, takes the lead. It'll be Johnny Benson, the Bahari Pontiac, leading with Jeff Bodine in second, then Gordon, then Jarrett, and then Darrell Waltrip in seventh. Yet to see Darrell in. Remember, he had that incident, so he's got a little more fuel on board. One caution to date. That was on the very first lap when Waltrip spun on the second turn, the tunnel turn of this three-turn track. Spencer back out in 21.4. So Benson, for the moment, is your leader here with 38 of 200 laps complete in the Pennsylvania 500. Join us Sunday, October 5th for the UAW GM Quality 500 from Charlotte Motor Speedway. 1996 Winston Cup champion Terry Labonte, defending champion. That's a 105 event on the Superstation, TBS, Sunday, October 5th. Hey, and say, don't forget, for the latest official news, standings, statistics, and up-to-the-minute race coverage, visit NASCAR's official internet site. NASCAR online at www.nascar.com. NASCAR online gives fans an all-access pass to the world of NASCAR racing. Be online today. Get the story of this one when it's so dandy.
Look at this, Jeremy Mayfield and Earnhardt going at it. I'm talking about little contact in the last corner there. Earnhardt just went right up under him there. You can see he's on the inside. Jeremy pushing toward the outside of the racetrack.
Well, Mayfield was in front of Earnhardt, and they've been slugging it out ever since we had this first stop for fuel and tires. They're still at it strong. Let's see who's going to give ground here.
I think there's going to be more take than give.
Well, you can see Earnhardt getting a little tail happy there. Jeremy's just giving a little of his own medicine there. Put the nose of his car right up under Earnhardt. You can see a fishtail off the corner.
Now, how could a guy that looks like an Eagle Scout, look at Gordon coming back along. Remember, Jeff Gordon, number 24, was leading. He's back in front after all of these stops. Bodine is pitted, so Gordon has picked up on the lead another time. We're at lap 42 with Jarrett second, Nemechek third, and Earnhardt and Mayfield having a heck of a time out here before.
That's his teammate, Terry Labonte, going one lap down there, and you can see that Dale Jarrett moving in there on the 24, but that's not like Labonte. He definitely has a problem.
39th position at the present time, and Terry Labonte is off his feet today.
Clear.
Take a look at those pit times, buddy. Greg?
I'll tell you, Bill Elliott, he flew through that. It's 14.1.
Look at that. Elliott's 94. Remember, they're up to 10th position with all of that. 7 STP whip around here. Get down into the pit area. See what we can find out from the folks who were on hand, first hand, to see what happened in that battle in the trenches. Steve Burns.
And I just talked to Tony Glover, the crew chief for the pole sitter, Joe Nemechek. He said they took half a pound of air pressure down. And it's amazing just half a pound, how that can affect the handling of the race car. Let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Steve, down here at Dale Earnhardt's pit, as I told you, they made a chassis adjustment, a four-tire change. The car was still a little tight, so they took some bite out of the right front of the car, trying to get the car to turn down in the corner a little bit better. Bobby Labonte, meanwhile, came in for 4 tires, no chassis adjustment. They like the way he feels right now. Here's Mike.
Rusty Wallace loves the way he feels. He came in, no adjustments, just 4 tires and gas. Jeff Bodine, the last one to come in, he had 39 laps under that 1 tank of fuel to Matt Young.
Well, last year in June here at Pocono, Dale Jarrett and the 99 car of Jeff Burton battled for second place. Now Jeff Burton's in 11th place. He had a bad tight problem. They went up on the track for 1.5 rounds, trying to free him up. They think they did. They hope now he'll be making his run to the front and join Jarrett and Jeff Gordon.
Mark Martin. He would love to see a yellow flag right now. Get back in pit sequence. He's due for a pit stop real soon out here. Mark Martin currently running in 15th position. 88. There's the interval between the 88 in second and your leader, Gordon. Dale Jarrett definitely moving in, closing down. Interval showed About 7/10 of a second last time around, and I think he's clipped that off a little.
If you want to see where Jarrett's running well, look at him in this corner. Close right up on the 24, Jeff Gordon. I think right now, there's no question about it, Dale Jarrett is the quickest car on the racetrack.
Look at this thrash. Here's Wally Dallenbach. Derek Coates scooting through. Here's that Musgrave in that position just behind. That would be Musgrave in 7th. Dallenbach in 6th, the green and white car. And there you see Musgrave. One of his best finishes. In fact, the one that exploded him onto the Winston Cup scene right here on this track. Pennsylvania 500 lap leaders today. Look at Earnhardt in number 3. Remember, now he is 4th. Gordon, Jarrett, Nemechek, 1, 2, 3. Wally Dallenbach, 5th. Musgrave, 6th. Mayfield, 7th. Labonte, 8th.
Last week's winner just behind this group there, Jeff Burton. He's moving in on this group to make this a real bunch of dogfight right here. Everybody's going at it. As you can see, Musgrave's moving to the outside there. A lot of challenges going on right now.
But for the moment, it is Gordon out in front. Jeff Gordon staying in front of this field, and Earnhardt, if he is to win, he's got a lot of making up to do, because right now he's 13 seconds back from the leader. With Gordon, Jarrett, Nemechek, 1, 2, 3. And then after that stop under green, Earnhardt finds himself 4th.
I'll tell you, Dale Jarrett is really in the 24 car. He is really closing. Dale told me before the race that he was looking to win and put pressure on these boys.
5/10 of a second, first to second.
Guys, you're riding with Jeff Burton right now, and Bobby Labonte. You can see him making a move as they head for turn 3 right there on Wally Dallenbach on the outside. These guys are really going at it. A lot of times, all the action is not up front. It's back in the back. They race all day long.
There may be an alternator problem developing on Jeremy Mayfield's number 37. The word we're getting now, we are at lap 48. Oh, looky here. Bobby Labonte scooting down through under Dallenbach, and here comes Jeff Burton right there with him, and Ernie Irvan.
Ernie Irvan now, just a while ago, he was right up front. That's what a bad pit stop can do for you. You see how far back he is in the pack right now. He'll really have to fight to get back up front.
That's been a dogfight for some time between Labonte, Dallenbach, and Burton. 4 on the 28 car. Let's go back to the pit area.
Well, guys, Ernie Irvan, since he made that pit stop, has really been complaining about the way the car feels to him. As I told you, they made a track bar adjustment, which they hoped would help the car. Ernie says the car's really sliding the tires through the corners. He just cannot get a grip. So they're scratching their heads down here trying to figure out exactly what to do next. Mark Reno talking with Robert Yates. They're going to make some more changes to the car, but he just doesn't like it right now at all.
A little wrist wrestling on that steering wheel for Ernie Irvan, trying to get a grip that will get him through this 14-degree banking going into turn number 1. Irvan giving it a good ride again today, up in 9th spot. Dallenbach back to 10th. You saw him sashay a little there as he came off that first turn. He was really loose. This guy, he looks to be bulletproof. Jeff Gordon stays in front, but look out. DJ's on a roll. Dale Jarrett's trying to chase him down. Superstation TBS giving you these beautiful shots of capacity crowd at Pocono, Pennsylvania. Thanks to the Dura Shine Advanced Auto Polish camera today. Wipe it on, hose it off. I'm going to put some of that on Baker's forehead. Dura Shine now available at Pep Boys and Western Auto and Kmart and Target Auto. Could help, you know, don't you think, Craig?
I was just going to comment on you, Ken. You have a lot more face than you used to have.
Look at this up in front. Here comes Dale Jarrett. This is for the lead. We're at lap 52, Pennsylvania 500, 24th annual for $1,000,004. Always a great race. And this one looks to be no exception. Jarrett getting a little better line. Off that third turn, that very flat third turn. Banked only 6 degrees. That's flat. That's where you can get your speed. That's where you want to set these rigs up for.
Well, you sure do. It really looked like Dale Jarrett could run the bottom groove over 3 and really get that strong run for this long front straightaway.
And here he is back on that first turn. turn them up on their side, 14 degrees.
You can see him getting a great run down the Long Pond straightaway on the back straightaway as they head towards turn 2. You can see Jarrett is a little bit better in the corner. I think right now the 24 Gordon is drifting just a little bit in the corner.
Nemechek has to look up from 12 seconds back in third spot, followed by Earnhardt in fourth. Sad story today in this one. For any of us who have followed Winston Cup racing for some time, to have Dave Marcus out early. Let's get the story.
Dave Marcus has had one hard weekend. You said this is one of the toughest you've had in racing.
I believe it really has. I mean, in my 31 years in Winston Cup, I don't never remember a week this rough. And we've had some rough ones, but, you know, I wrecked on Friday, and then yesterday, just before qualifying, we lost an engine. So that kept us from getting a chance to qualify, but we got in with a provisional, and now we lost another engine in the race. So it's just been, you know, the guys been working hard trying to get everything done, but it's just been a rough week, terrible rough.
But Dave Marcus will be back next race in Indy.
For the lead.
Clear all around.
Is there and clear. Dale Jarrett goes in front at lap 54. The number 88 for Robert Yates takes first place away from Jeff Gordon, the only driver in today's race who competed in that 1974 inaugural when a guy named Baker was on the pole. Dave Marcus out at lap 50 behind the wall. Take a look at 3 and 16, 4th and 5th, Earnhardt and Musgrave. Be a hard day, the day that Dave Marcus does not cinch up the seatbelt and give it a ride. Years have advanced on him, and he's got to feel the long shadows. I had a word a moment ago that Jeremy Mayfield was having a problem on the number 37 that is currently in 6th spot. Matt Gilcom can tell us more.
Well, Ken, I just talked to Paul Andrews. He says they definitely have an alternator problem, but just in case, they have a battery standing by in the pit. Jeremy says when he turned off all the fans, the mist seemed to get a little bit better. But now, the problem is getting mighty hot inside the cockpit. He says the temperature is rising. They're just hoping that they can get a caution to try to see what is wrong with the Kmart RC Cola Ford.
These tires feel good.
Lead stays tight between first and second. Jarrett and Gordon now up there, and they draw away from Nemechek by another second. Interval of 13 between second and third.
You can see Gordon's car just seems to be a little bit tighter in the turn. He's still running a wider line, and that's what's giving Jarrett the advantage.
Pushing up if he tries to nip it down on the bottom. Jeff Gordon, the 24.
The flat end of the racetrack, it seems that Gordon has a very good car. You can see him hold his own as they go through the flatter part of the corner. But down into turn 1, Gordon cannot stay on the bottom of the racetrack.
Now, there may be more to that story on the number 24 as it goes for its 8th win. Steve Burns, how about it?
Well, Ken, we do know this. On Jeff Gordon's last pit stop, they put on scuffed tires. Remember, they're battling, a lot of the Chevys in particular, battling a loose handling problem. They tried scuffed tires. That may not have been the way to go.
Still plenty of time with 200 laps and only 57 down. Got time for some correction out here, buddy, and get this one back. We've seen the Wood brothers, the Yates do that over the years. Just keep working, just keep massaging, then hit it and come home.
Well, there's been some speculation that the Ford has a little more rear spoiler than the Chevrolet, and on a track that gets a little bit loose, does the Ford indeed have a little advantage as the racetrack gets slick? We don't know, but I bet you the guys in the pits know.
Nemechek dropping back there, buddy. As you saw Earnhardt and Musgrave put Nemechek back a couple more. I think that puts him into 5th. Gets Earnhardt up to 3rd. Musgrave coming to 4th. Still Jarrett and Gordon 1 and 2. So far today, it's been Chevy dominated, leading 50 of these first 11 laps, 57 laps. Ford getting the other. And how about this? You talk about competition. 36 cars still in the lead lap, and only one caution lap 1. Hey, here comes Musgrave.
And just behind them, Jeff Burton in the 99 was making a move up too. Don't count that kid out. That race car gets better as the race goes along.
Musgrave looking good, and he loves this racetrack. after Earnhardt. And there's that 99. Checking in 7th place, Jeff Burton. Ernie Irvan is in 8th. Bobby Labonte in 9th, and Bill Elliott now 10th. Riding with Jeff Burton.
I tell you, Jeff Burton has really learned how to pace himself and run the early parts of this race. It's just amazing. I don't know if the car gets that much better or if he gets that much better as the race goes on.
3, 16, and 37. Earnhardt, Musgrave, Mayfield. 3rd, 4th, 5th. And the big surprise right now, Ted Musgrave at Pocono, Pennsylvania. It's the old Musgrave Ramble as he heads into turn number 1. He has Earnhardt in his sights. Comes up off that little bump in the bottom of number 1. That'll adjust your teeth, won't it? Your dental work gets a little work out there. Whoop. Dale Jarrett stays right in the thick of this thing. Stay with us to see if he can stay there. Tonight on TBS, Gene Hackman, Patrick Swayze battle for their lives. At 9 p.m., it's the movie Uncommon Valor. It's all part of Destination Sunday. Right here on the Superstation. Back to racing at Pocono. Dale Jarrett showing you how to get it done. Leading here with 62, now 63 laps complete, this time by 137 remaining. You see Joe Nemechek coming by. He was just on pit road. Nemechek pitted on lap 61. He only went 28 laps since that last pit stop. That was back on lap 33. Perhaps Steve Burns can provide some insight into what that stop was about.
Well, Ken, they're checking right now to see if they had a flat right rear tire. They think it was very loose. They banged the spoiler up to help tighten it up. And again, right now, the Goodyear engineer, along with the guys on the team, looking to see if they had a cut or flat rear tire.
Running 36, Nemechek, pole sitter. Here's Earnhardt and Mayfield, 4th and 5th. Jarrett, Gordon, Musgrave, 1, 2, 3.
And you see Burton has closed the gap some on that 37 car. And that's all on his own with no draft. He's looking pretty strong.
You're riding with him down into turn 1. It's hard to believe he started to run well up in the 195 to 200 mile an hour. You see him shift down as he starts into the corner there. That's actually a high gear. We call it third, but it's high gear. And then they have what they call an overdrive that they switch back right along here. They pull it back into high gear to keep from over-revving the motor down the back straightaway.
I'll tell you, and these boys, a lot of them are making the shift right in the middle of the turn, so it's not a big transition when they're going in.
Mike Hogwood can add more. For Matt Yoakum. Matt?
Well, Ken, an update on Jeremy Mayfield. He told you earlier he had to turn the blowers off in the car. Well, now his discomfort is heightening. Now his back is beginning to burn. So now they're really hoping to get a caution soon to try to throw an ice pack down there and see if they can fix what's wrong with the 37 car. Also, an update on the point leader, Terry Labonte. He said he thought he might have broken a chain in the rear end. They looked at it when they pitted 2 laps ago. It was fine. They added some wedge. He is chasing the chassis big time on the 5 car.
Greg, don't even think about it. You're up here for the day.
All right, I won't go down to the booth. I'll stay in the booth.
All right, here's Earnhardt right there in 4th spot. And after that great run at Loudon last week, got a 2nd place. You get the feeling that he's right on the edge of getting right back into that top form that saw him win 7 national championships. How about it, Dale?
Well, Larry's always said when you get to the second half of the season, we'll be better because we've had the first go-round to work together and learn and tune each other. And even here at Pocono, I see a big difference in the last race. We're even better here. So I'm comfortable and excited about the second half. I think we can come out and win some races and still got a shot at that championship.
Boy, he just keeps on pressing. Rising back to the top. Number 3. Earnhardt, no question about it. He's looking in the old championship form today. The 93 and 87 winner of this event.
top 10 finishes in the last 6 races alone. Projects him right up in there. And I'll tell you what's interesting about him. Can you imagine? He has completed 99.7 of the laps that have been run. These cars going into today's race have had the opportunity to run 5,153 laps. Earnhardt's won all but 13. That's amazing.
You know, just a little turnaround in the year at Daytona. He had a top 3 finishing car there, turned over on the back straightaway and knocked him out of contention. There's a lot of times this year that Earnhardt could have had great results. Wally Dallenbach now is in the pits as we speak.
Pitted when he was running in 9th place, and Grissom is also in. Let's go to Steve Burns.
And Brent Knopfsinger has his crew over the wall. A little bit of trouble on the right front. Jack May comes around. Doesn't look like they're making a chassis adjustment. Remember earlier they were another one of the Chevys fighting a loose problem. Checking the grill, sitting up the grill, and Wally's gone. 20.1 seconds.
Brett Bodine also coming in. He was at 27th when he came onto pit road. Here's your leader, Dale Jarrett, number 88. Looks like Jarrett, although it looks pretty easy out here, inside it's another story, huh, buddy?
Yeah, you can see down the straightaway he's holding the steering wheel quite easy, but watch him in the corner here. Good bit of hand motion there as he gets in. You can see him holding on the steering wheel, and that's the smooth part of the racetrack. I would imagine in turn 1, he's a busy camper.
Mike Hogwood is with Rusty Wallace, who is now on pit road. He has been in 10th.
And it will be a 4-tire stop for Rusty Wallace. They've had all kinds of little problems during that run. They lost radio communication for a while. He's down and away. Great stop, 18.9. They've got the radios back. They were able to call Rusty in. Rusty says now he just wants somebody to draft with so he can gain some positions.
Wallace has been the big story in the early going. Had to take a provisional starting berth in this race and climbed right back up among the leaders. Here's Ricky Craven in the 25, in jeopardy of going a lap down in 29th position. Dale Jarrett closes in.
Well, if you want to know how to do it, just watch there. Dale Jarrett trying to make a move on Craven. You see Craven go down in the corner. Watch his car right along here. Jarrett able to stay right on the white line through the corner, and he's able to put him away as he heads towards the front straightaway.
Dale Jarrett using that Robert Yates horsepower right now in that long front straightaway.
Craven this morning feeling as low as the soles on his shoes. Not happy with the way he qualified, not happy with the way things are going right now. Dale Jarrett continues to lead the Pennsylvania 500. Steve Burns.
Can Dale Jarrett, the leaders, then another very quick pit stop for him. They changed 4 tires but made no chassis adjustments. 19.7 seconds.
Equal time on Gordon, and they're both in. They were expected in about 2 laps, and he ducked in early.
Clear all
So
around.
Gordon
Clear.
came with him. Ford and Chevy stay 1 and 2 as they come back on the track. Of course, they're no longer the leaders. Musgrave, he'll inherit first place. Kenny Wallace coming in. So we're back in the window of opportunity for fuel and tires. Only 1 caution thus far. Just joining us, well, Darrell Waltrip. There's your new leader, Musgrave. Darrell Waltrip spun on the first lap in the second turn. Remember, he spun in the first and second turn at Texas on the first lap, too. Here's Earnhardt coming on the pit road, running third as he entered the pits. Let's see how he's going to do. He's way down in the end. Speed about 60. Whoa! And at 65, we can get a little hairy out there. Here's me.
A close call for Dale Earnhardt. Ken, on the first run, Dale Earnhardt said the car was a tad tight. Larry McReynolds loosened him up. Now he's a tad too loose. They're going to adjust this pit stop with air pressure. 4 tires, 4 sticker tires for the 7-time champion. A good stop. Jimmy Elliott is done on the front. Now let's go to Mike Hogwood.
And the 43 of Bobby Hamilton in the pits. A little bit of strategy here. They're going to go right side only. Bobby Hamilton feels that he is fast, but he needs track position, so it's just right side tires. Steve Burns.
And Jeff Gordon was in just moments ago, right behind Dale Jarrett. They've changed 4 tires. I'm going to check with Ray Evernham right now to see if the chassis was adjusted.
Hamilton came in 14th position in the Petty number 43. Here you see Michael Waltrip coming back on the track. He's been running in 13th. This will set him down until we get this period of stops sugared off. Mike Skinner coming in and Ricky Rudd at this point. Skinner's been having a good day. He was showing in 4th as he entered the pits, and Rudd was in 5th. We're at lap 74 here in the Pennsylvania 500. 126 laps remaining with Buddy Baker and Greg Sachs. I'm Ken Squire topside. Hope you're enjoying Superstation Whoop TBS today. And let's get down to Matt Yoakum.
Ken, this is a 4-tire stop for Ricky Rudd. They have been struggling all weekend with this Tide Ford. They made a wedge adjustment. He's getting 4 tires. He's down the way. The 99 car may be out of fuel. Glenn Jarrett.
And Jed Musgrave is finally bringing his car in. Man, he's gone a little over 2 laps, or actually 2 laps longer than Dale Jarrett or Jeff Gordon could. Musgrave changed 4 tires last time. It looks to be another 4-tire stop this time. James Ince told me he was well satisfied with the car. They have not touched it other than changing tires and fuel since the race started, so they're loving the way the chassis is working. He was second quickest in happy hour yesterday, so not really a surprise for Musgrave. So only 2 tires for Musgrave. He's out 15.6. Now here's Matt.
It's a 4-tire stop for Jeff Burton. He is down the way. He almost stalled the car, and now he is moving. Let's go back upstairs.
Burton was in second when he pitted with Musgrave then in the lead. They came in at about the same time. Ernie Irvan, for the moment, finds himself in first place. Here's Ernie Irvan in the 28. Finishing out this season in that car and looking for a ride. They're showing Musgrave currently in second place after these stops, Buddy.
You know, just before they stopped, it seemed that Dale Jarrett had the car to beat. You see, right now, it seems that Gordon is able to close in. He's running down about 15 car lengths since they were in the pits. Looks to me that they've adjusted on Gordon's car and really have it like they want it now.
And have him in third, Jarrett in second, and Steve Burns can tell us more about Gordon's number 24.
Ken, I just spoke to Ray Evernham, and he said this track is going to change several more times during the day. At the beginning, we were loose. Now we're tight, but we think we're getting closer.
Inside of you.
Expect to make more changes throughout the day.
3 wide, outside to the inside. He's hooked up.
We're all around.
Getting down below. Dick Trickle getting underneath the Jarrett number 88 and scooting through. He's officially in the second spot. Irvan, your leader, now on pit road, and Glenn Jarrett is awaiting.
And I was talking to Jeff Clark. He was telling me what they were going to do to Ernie. They've got the car is still pushing, still way too tight for Ernie's liking. So they will go to the track bar and maybe also a wedge adjustment. Still wait. There's Ernie. Finally shows up. We'll put the stopwatch on him. Remember, I told you he did not like the way that last set of tires felt to him. The car was sliding around on the racetrack. They are set to make a 4-tire change. Now they've adjusted the track bar. Still working on the right side. A little bit of trouble over there. This crew is usually very fast. Oh, they got a problem on the right front. Just now got it off. This is not going to be a good pit stop they've had. So they just decided to go 2 tires, 20.81. But remember, that was only a 2-tire stop.
Very slow, 20 seconds for 2 tires and fuel on Ernie Irvan, back underway in that Ford Thunderbird. So Jeff Gordon gets back out in front with Dale Jarrett second and Jimmy Spencer for the moment being shown in third. Ricky Craven on pit road and back out. We're at lap 77. 123 left to go, 307 miles in this 24th annual Pennsylvania 500. They've named both races here at Pocono, Dr. Mattioli, in honor of the Keystone State. Pocono 500 and the Pennsylvania 500, which means tens of millions of dollars to this area. I tell you, we came in here at 3:30 this morning. Buddy Baker and I from out in Denver, where we had the chance to see that great truck race yesterday. They were lined up for miles coming in. Unbelievable crowd arriving at that hour of the day. Full moon was just green. Take a look at this.
Well, you see Dick Trickle in the 90 there. He takes the line away from Jarrett just a little bit, keeping him from getting a great run off the corner there. Jeff Gordon, on the other hand, got a great run, makes it 3 wide as they head down towards the tunnel turn. You can see Jeff Gordon making the move there.
Terrific picture to follow that one through.
Boy, he really showed his muscle, and he showed that he was not going to give, and these other fellas had to give. Otherwise, they'd been in big trouble in the tunnel.
Gas man running. Now, there's a story for you. Glenn?
Well, Ken, the reason we're tracking this is because the front stretch here at Pocono is so long, and the gas pumps are way back in the middle of the garage area. Ernie Irvan picked the #1 pit stop, so we're following the guy just to let you know exactly how far he has to run. The guy we're looking at now is not the normal gas can guy. That's Doug Yates, the engine builder, son of Robert Yates. The normal guy, David Locklear, didn't make it this weekend. And if I were him, I'd be awfully glad if I was going to miss a race. This would be the one. So we're going to track this guy. When we get a little further up here, we're going to hand him off to Matt Youngkin because Doug Yates is a lot younger than I am. He can do this a lot easier than I can. We have it coming about 50 yards, and I'm already out of breath, so take it away, Matt.
When I got you here, I'm running along with Doug Yates. Hey, Doug, how you doing?
It's a long haul down here.
Hey, you been working out? You getting in shape for this?
This is the first day on the job.
Uh-oh, I don't know what. If I were Doug, I don't know if I'd want to come back for a second day on this. I don't know. I think working out at the Y's been helping me out a little bit, too. I'm going to hand it off now as he heads out of the pumps.
3,740 feet. Usually they give that to the new guy that just came on, can't wait to do anything possible. That's when you find out if you've really got the heart to work in the pits. That is a wrong. Wow.
There is a gas pump, we promise, somewhere.
You know, when you look at Doug, this is a family business. Robert being the owner. And when you're in a family business, you do whatever it takes. There's Doug out there giving his all.
Yep, that's just part of what you never get to see in Winston Cup racing, and probably you'll never want to see it again. Boy. Yeah. Sure, we can use you on our crew. Absolutely. You come on over, we'll get you a pit pass. And there you are. I bet a few folks watching today would appreciate the opportunity and probably head for the Y themselves to be out here in part of the most competitive motorsports in the world. Winston Cup racing on Superstation TBS. Jeff Gordon leading. The Pennsylvania 500, 24th edition. And on lap 83, 207.5 miles into this thing, a change of leadership. Dale Jarrett taking command. Let's take a look at how he moved in front of Jeff Gordon.
All right, down in turn 1, and Jarrett takes the bottom of the track. It's pretty obvious that Gordon's really strong with fresh tires, but Jarrett is set up for the long run, and that's really going to pay off.
Side by side, down towards the tunnel turn, you can see Jeff thought about it. No, I don't think so. There's something about that turn, Ken, when you go in there, your right foot will hit you right in the mouth if you try to go in on that outside.
That's the 10th lead change today. Up in front, pit roundup at the present time. Jarrett stays up in front. Jeff Gordon hangs right on in there. Further back, here's Ernie Irvan making a switch of 1 or 2 positions. And Bobby Labonte. Doug Yates is down there. He has reached Valhalla, the Oasis, and he's with Mike Hogwood.
Yeah, and Ken, thank goodness for a commercial and a chance for all of us to catch our breath running down here. Doug, you made it, but now it's like the gas lines of the 70s. You got to stand and wait in line once you get here.
Yeah, I didn't realize how long the line was, but when you guys started following me down here and you had a 3-man relay to make it down here, that tells me how far it is.
It also tells you that our TBS crew needs to get in a little better shape, huh?
No, it's, you know, they pick the pit by the way you qualify, and we qualified really good today, so that just further call for the gas.
Well, the fuel will be back in Ernie Irvan's pit shortly, Ken.
Hey, Glenn Jarrett, this guy, Doug Yates, he was not the guy that made the first run, was he?
No, Ken, the first guy was Jeff Clark. Remember, great big Jeff Clark that used to be the jackman for them. He was the guy that did it first time. Yep. As I said, David Locklear normally does it every time, but he conveniently missed today. So Jeff did the first one. Doug's going to do the second one. And what they told me a while ago was if they can't find one of the other guys in the crew to volunteer, they're going to drag Ernie out of the car and make him carry the gas can.
Jeff Burton is all over Dale Earnhardt down the front straightaway. He is putting a lot of pressure on Earnhardt. Look for him to make a move here, coming to the tunnel for 4th.
New guard, old guard, going down the back straightaway. Jeff Burton, 2-time winner this year. I tell you, he's hot. You can see him putting the pressure on Earnhardt.
He is hot indeed. That stunning victory at Texas. and got himself all busted up, broke his ribs. And he's a comer, this guy. You're going to hear a lot about Jeff Burton. Won again at New Hampshire last week. Beautiful performance there. He steamrolled.
Earnhardt really got off turn 3 well that time. It didn't look like Burton could advance.
Beautiful. It's still such a pleasure to watch Earnhardt when he's working. Here's that car number 94 that had trouble earlier. A couple of hood pins came out and popped up. Bobby Hamilton just outside of Awesome Bill. Wild Bill himself, number 94. Sneaks up another one. Will Elliott looking good.
See Ernie Irvan there in the 28. Had a bad pit stop right at the first part of the race, but he seems to be going right now. Got a lot of flutter on the hood there. I don't know what's causing that, but don't seem to be hurting the car at all.
Elliott's up to 7th, and Nemechek has dropped to 8th with Irvan right there with him. They're all in that same lap. And in fact, at the present time, what are we showing for the lead? About 34 cars in the lead lap. Working our way toward halfway. 88 laps complete. 200 laps the distance. 500 miles for $1.4 million on Superstation TBS. And right now, Dale Jarrett's the man of the moment.
The Pennsylvania 500 on TBS is brought to you by Pennzoil, formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil, and by Peerless Faucet.
Tomorrow, 1:05 Eastern on TBS. Braves take on the Dodgers, a business person special. Catch the final game of their 4-game series right here on the Superstation. That's 1:05 tomorrow. Our Durashine camera today. Durashine Advanced Auto Polish, giving you this great view. Every seat sold out. That's pretty much the case wherever you find a Winston Cup race. Just wipe it on, hose it off, they say. Now here you see Mark Martin still coming along up through. And to get himself back in this race. Where's Mark running right now? About 12th on the field? Correction on that. Running 35th on the field. 35th on the field. Ooh. Jeff Burton down on the inside, and he's under Earnhardt. That battle between youth and age gets settled in favor of the youngster from South Boston, Virginia for this moment. Jeff Burton in the 99 squirted right down through on the bottom.
He's on the charge. He's exciting today.
Call that round 2. It's not over yet.
You bet. So with that change, the 99 pulling up, he will take 4th. Earnhardt falling to 5th. STP pit roundup time. They've all been in that second round, and let's see what we can learn from all the information that's been generated down there and pooled by our pit folks. And we'll start with Glenn Jarrett.
Well, guys, I'm going to update you on Mark Martin. You know, he is off sequence by about 20 laps. He just made his second pit stop. They finally changed that left side tire that was giving him so much problem. But what they're doing now, they've fallen a lap behind because of that, and they are going to try to make it on one less stop than all the rest of these guys. So what they're doing is trying to stretch fuel mileage the best they can to try to help make up that lap he lost due to that wheel.
And it's just fascinating listening to Ray Evernham on the scanner talking to his driver, Jeff Thornton. He's really trying to keep him pumped up. He said, Jeff, keep me posted so I can help you get off the corner later. He's really trying to coach him, keep him in. He says, keep us close so we can help you later. Let's go down pit road.
Kyle Petty feels that he has a great run going. He loves the way the car is handling right now, but he says he needs track position. In order to get that, the next pit stop, they're probably just going to take 2 tires so Kyle can get a chance to run with the leaders. He's been in the top 15 all day long.
An update on Jeremy Mayfield. We've been following his struggle all afternoon. He has an intermittent miss on the last pit stop. They checked things over. They could not find out what the problem is. Another problem for Mayfield, he is getting extremely hot in the car. He's got burns on his back and legs as the temperature inside the car continues to rise. Now, while he is hot, the guys down here in the 3 bunch, they're going to the ices. Even cameraman Brad Hinton was able to get one. Figures Mark Armstrong has 3. I'll just take one of those. And these guys down here are cool, but Mayfield is definitely getting hotter in the car. Ken?
That's your STP pit roundup. Mayfield is in 6th. Kyle Petty currently in 12th. Riding with the leader, Dale Jarrett, number 88. He has run a total of 94 laps thus far, 6 away from halfway.
You can see Dale Jarrett there. He just put Michael Waltrip a lap down and give him the thank you very much for moving over and giving me track position. We do hand signals because that's the only way you really communicate out there. And you can see right now that Michael moved over. Will he do the same to Jeff? Nah.
You think that's a little Ford Chevrolet situation there?
Well, you see Jeff coming to the inside. I'm sure Michael will let him go now. You see him back off and let him have the track.
Let me make a correction. 25, now 24 cars on the lead lap. I think we had it up at 30. It is now 24.
I'll tell you, Rusty Wallace is on the move. Just a lap or two ago, he had taken 9th position from Joe Nemechek, and now he's reeling in Ernie Irvan. He is really on the move for 8th spot. Here he goes to the front.
The average speed for the race, 155.9. Last year's record for the race, 144. Only one caution. Waltrip, early in the going, first lap, second turn, tunnel turn, spun. Able to gather it up and keep running. And he's well down, 37th spot. Look at Wallace back on the bottom. And this is the guy who's had no luck here anytime this week. But it's all coming together on Sunday.
You know, it's so easy to sit up here and watch the cars that are really able to handle. They can run the white line right around the bottom of the turn. You can see the 28 of Ernie Irvan has to go up about a half a lane to a full lane higher than Rusty Wallace. The end result, no track position coming off the corner, and they got past.
And you know, when you see Rusty making that move, you think how hard he's working. His car is working so well, he's actually having an easier time than Irvan is in the 28.
Point leader Terry Labonte's not having much of a charm on this Pocono, Pennsylvania 500. He's back in 40th position, struggling, and Steve Burns is with Gary Dehart.
And Ken, they're getting ready to come in. Gary, you guys are really struggling. What can you do to get better?
Well, yesterday was really tight. We did a bunch of things probably yesterday afternoon, this morning we shouldn't have. And today we're really loose. We're just trying to undo some of those things. If we can get some things undone, maybe we'll be okay. Thanks, Gary.
Musgrave scoots around him another time, running in third in that 16. And you even saw Ricky Craven getting by him again.
Greg, let's talk a little bit. We have people out there that might be watching for the first time. When you hear somebody talking about loose, talk to them a little bit about what the car is actually doing.
When you start to drive down into the turn and the car feels loose, it means the car wants to try to spin out. The back of the car wants to go outward. If the car is on the tight side, that means as you're driving into the turn, that the front of the car will not turn down. It tries to go straight.
And there you see that number 5, and you saw some statistics on the Iceman. Tell you what, this is one of those days that's just absolutely charming. Perfect day for a race. Temperature's right.
We got Terry Labonte in the lead. Right now, if it happened, he was 21st, would go currently 40th.
Started and just backed up all afternoon here to date. Meanwhile, in front, the 88 of Dale Jarrett stays about 9/10 of a second in front of Jeff Gordon, with Musgrave in third, Burton now fourth, Earnhardt right there in fifth.
Promotional fees and consideration have been paid by the following: STP, Child Recovery Network, Ford Quality Care, and by Econo Lodge.
Halfway in the Pennsylvania 500, 24th running, 130,000 folks standing and cheering, as they do every weekend when you get to a NASCAR Winston Cup event. The best in the business showing their stuff, and strutting out in front of the parade right now is Dale Jarrett. Now we have Bobby Hamilton on pit road. Mike Hogwood is there.
And it's a 4-car stop for Bobby Hamilton. He only took 2 the last time. He made his way up close to the top 20, didn't get there. Said he needed 4 tires. He wants to try to break into that top 20 and even challenge higher up. He feels he has a car that can get towards the front second half of this race.
Halfway distance has been completed, and as it was Jarrett, Gordon, Musgrave, the top 3, followed by Burton, Earnhardt, Mayfield down to 6, Elliott in 7, and Rusty Wallace all the way up to 8, followed by Irvan and Dallenbach to round out the top 10 with Kyle Petty in 11. Now let's check the window. When are we going to see these guys back on pit road? Just that one brief time on pit road. You watch the 44 diving down to the inside. This is Kyle Petty for position on Wally Dallenbach. That was for 10. Kyle mowed him down.
Well, it looks like, you know, the fellas all stopped on around lap 75, 76 in there. So we're looking at about 40, 42 laps from that point. We're looking at about 115 to 118 laps. Let's see how it turns out.
Record pace being rushed off here at Pocono, Pennsylvania on the 2.5 miles today. We're seeing Bill Elliott back on pit road. He's running in 7th spot. And Rusty Wallace is in 2 in the number 2. He's running in 8. Mike Hogwood.
It's a 4-tire stop for Rusty Wallace. There has been very little talk between crew and driver. Rusty Wallace has just concentrated on this race. He said his car's a little bit tight, but he wants no changes. They haven't changed all day. Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Bill Elliott comes in again, and remember, they're having to pit early. That nose problem's creating some drag. They're not getting the kind of fuel mileage they hope. Again, only 2 tires this time for Elliott. They're trying to conserve fuel as much as they possibly can. They're trying to conserve track position by only changing 2 tires. That's the second stop in a row that they have only put on right side tires.
And they say that Wallace is on his schedule.
Well, I tell you, it looked early because I have it down that he stopped on lap 69. You've only got 32 laps that he ran. I really felt that they would run further than that.
Well, the rest are still very much out there. Jarrett, Gordon, Musgrave, Burton, 1, 2, 3, 4. Dale Jarrett here in front, putting a lap on Derek Cope. And that's Skittles, number 36. This is the track where it turned around for Dale Jarrett. This race, 95, gave Robert Yates a much-needed victory. He was talking to forming his own team for 96 that point. Remember, he ran out of fuel, coasted the last half mile, and still beat Jeff Gordon in that event. This man right here, Dale Jarrett.
Yeah, he's giving that steering wheel a good workout there. You can see right down the straightaway, you kind of rest a little bit, give your hands a little bit of rest, and then when he gets back to the corner, watch him get a hold of that steering wheel again. There you go. You need both hands in the corner.
Boy, it was a tough time for Robert Yates in those days. I can remember standing here on the back of the roof with our old pal and good friend Neil Bonnet. It was the week when we lost Davey Allison in that helicopter crash. Just watching a chopper take off out back here, one of the TV choppers. And Neil just turned around and shook his head. As you remember, Neil was there that day and tried to help with Davey. Red Farmer was in that as well. A lot of history in this Winston Cup racing. Much of it here at Pocono, Pennsylvania on this 2.5 miles. Tough old track, isn't it, buddy?
Yeah, you can see.
This is the one you didn't win.
Yeah, I didn't win here, but let me tell you, Dale Jarrett right now is wearing that headrest out. You can see his head in the center part of the corner on that headrest. You can see it right on the side of the seat there. He's wearing that thing out right now, but he's driving his heart out. You can see his head leaning way over on that headrest. Now watch down the straightaway, he'll straighten back up. Then when he starts back in the corner, he's just using everything he has in there.
You've got this long straightaway, 3,700 feet, longest one in Winston Cup racing, but 3 different kinds of banking out here. Talk about your progressive banking and so forth, with 3 totally separate ones. This wear you down, wear you out more?
You know, the biggest thing that you have to remember about a flat track is the car leans over a lot and pushes you hard over towards the right-hand side. On a bank racetrack, you're actually pushing into the bottom part of the race car. This is much tougher on you than a bank racetrack.
So, and it really wears on your neck more here. Just like Buddy said, on the bank track, you don't feel it in the neck as much. On this flat track, your head is about 20 pounds or so. It's trying to go out to that wall with a lot of G's. You will pull upward of 1.5, sometimes 2 G's at some tracks, at the bigger tracks. So it's really tiring on your body.
So first it's trying to force you right through the bottom, literally the bottom out of the car, and then when you get on that flat part, it's knocking you all the way to the other side of the racetrack.
It's trying to throw you out the right side window.
It's like Holyfield with his foot against the side of your head, pushing it towards the right-hand door. That's what it feels like.
Oh, that really gives you the picture.
Good job there, DJ. He fit here probably about 5 or 6 laps.
Jarrett stays first, Gordon second, Musgrave third, Burton fourth, Earnhardt fifth, Mayfield sixth.
I'll tell you, and we're going to look for pit stops to be coming up fairly soon. Gordon and Jarrett both stopped together on the last stop on lap 72. So we're looking at them to go upward of Let's see, right now we got 107 laps down. So we got 35 laps now. So within the next 5 laps to 6 laps, we're going to see one of those cars in the pits, probably both. They'll probably come together.
265 miles have been completed of this 500-mile jaunt, and only one caution today. That on the very first lap. Jarrett moving in on Jimmy Spencer. Jimmy Spencer. He is beginning to take this field apart. Can he keep doing that? Hard to believe he can. We'll see. Looking out across the main straightaway here at Pocono Raceway, 2.5-mile track. We are at lap 110 of 200. Earnhardt has just come on to pit road, and let's see what's happening there.
Ken, this is going to be a 4-tire pit stop. Dale Earnhardt has crossed back over to the tight side. They're going to try to free his car up with air pressure change. They pulled off the protective covering on the windshield so he can see better out of the windshield. 18.4 seconds. Let's go to Steve Burns.
Matt, Dale Jarrett's in your race leader. Now, I asked Todd Jarrett if they'd be making any changes, and he shook his head no. Now, if you believe that, they haven't made any changes all day, but we've also overheard them say they may be adjustments. So you just never can tell, but they just blistered a pit stop.
89 laps to go. 277.5 miles have been completed out here as some of the principals come on to pit road. Another pit stop to come. There is that Jeff Burton, number 99. Matt?
Jeff Burton waited as long as he could to come in. He was hoping that he could outlast everyone to pick up 5 valuable bonus points for the points race. He even talked to Ted Musgrave that Ted could come in a lap early, but they could not work that out because Jeff had to come now. He was low on fuel. 4 tires out of the way, 21.4 seconds. He was a tad tight. They're going to try to free him up.
15th in the points at this time last year, currently 5th, and just 34 points behind Dale Jarrett in the Winston Cup standings for that $1 million bonus. End of the year, here he is getting back to speed. Winner twice this season. 30-year-old Jeff Burton won at Texas, won last week in New Hampshire. Kenny Wallace in the 81 comes chasing up after him. Kenny back in the 35th position. And he's by the 99.
You know what's probably happening? You come out of the pits and you don't have the heat in the tires, so he's not getting maximum traction right now on his tires. You see him picking up speed now. Jeff Burton dropped back a couple of spots.
See Wallace, the 13th. On the climb, Mayfield is in 12th. Earnhardt is now being shown. Now let's get this right where Earnhardt is going to be shown. Up to 7th. Up to 7th. Front of the field. Musgrave, for the moment, with these stops, has the lead in the 16. Kenny Wallace just there in front of him. Then comes Jarrett in the 88. We're showing him 21.5 seconds down. Musgrave is out of sync with the field as far as making these stops. Musgrave could be a real factor out of sync, and this is what happened back in '95 when he nearly won the thing. Remember, he finished second to Jeff Gordon? He was out of sync that time, too, with the rest of the field. There's 3 other top 5 finishes here on the old Pocono Triangle. Musgrave and that Roush, number 16, leading through 113 laps.
Look at this Congo line. You can see Bill Elliott almost making contact down the front straightaway. It don't get any closer than that. Kenny Wallace almost got into it.
And the 99 has he gathered up. Burton, 9th position now, moving toward the front. Mike Hogwood can tell us more about Rusty Wallace and his endeavor today.
Well, we were talking earlier about why he came in so early on his fuel stop. Just talked to Robin Pemberton. He says the one thing that's going wrong today, we are not getting good fuel mileage at all. We're having to come in 2 to 3 laps earlier than everybody else on a fuel stop. So that could be a disadvantage as we get later in the race.
There you see Wallace in 11th. Just joining us, well, he came from a provisional starting berth, 39th position. And after having 3 terrible days here, really bleak affairs, this one has finally gelled What's that coming on?
That's rubber buildup that gets up under the car, and as they go down the front straightaway, sometimes it turns loose. You can see it bouncing along there. But when that flies up in your face just for a moment, you say, metal!
Imagine that being on the windshield. Jeff Burton, so patient.
Yeah, you can see Jeff after the pit stop. For the first couple laps there, he lost position to all these cars. Now he's got the heat back in the tires. He's starting to move back through the field.
And he's just gone around Elliott for 7. He says his theory on racing, quite simple. You don't make yourself any better by getting in over your head. Musgrave ready to pit. Leader on pit road. This will give it back to Jarrett. Leave Gordon second. Move Irvin to third. Ted Musgrave. Man, it looked like he was traveling. He may get... Let's get down to Glenn and see what's going on.
And Ken, he didn't come in a moment too soon. The car is out of gas. They're going to have to push him off. They stretched it just a little too far. We'll put the clock on him. These guys have really been pumped up for the way that Ted has been running the last few weeks. They think that he is going... They think that he has the best chance right now that he ever has that to win a race. They're going to make a 4-tire change. They only did 2 last time, but they have the car refired now. You can hear that, so that's good. They won't have to push him off. But boy, I tell you, they cut it awfully close this time. Let's hope. And now they're waiting to get the last bit of fuel in the car. And wow, the guys are screaming. Oh,
they got a 15-second penalty.
He was too fast down pit road. And now he's away. 32 seconds. So didn't do the job for him. They had to pay for it, pay it all back in a penalty.
Dale Jarrett is your leader. 116 are complete. Musgrave is pitted. Jarrett now takes command with Gordon in second in the Pennsylvania 500. There's the Weather Channel blimp. And aerial pictures everywhere here today of the Pocono Pennsylvania 500, 24th annual, $1.4 million. In the till this afternoon to be divided among 42 starters, and this is the man that has been just blitzing the field, knocking them over like dominoes. 21 cars remain in the lead lap. Mark Martin almost was in trouble in this latest moment. A caution. Second one of the day has changed things around. Gives Martin a chance to get back in here into that lead lap. Once again, Mark Martin could be a factor.
Well, he's back in sequence, and that's going to make a whole big difference. And now he's at the back of the lead lap, and hey, he can come right to the front. We know Mark Martin's fast. He made up a lap already.
Showing Jarrett, Gordon, Spencer, Earnhardt as the front 4 with Musgrave in 5th. Anybody see for what? For why? Under yellow?
No, but look at all the lead cars coming down towards pit road as we speak.
Let's check on pit road with the folks and see if we can get a report as to what brought out only the second caution of the day. It came at lap 118, which leaves 82 laps. And there's 24, Jeff Gordon in. Let's go to Steve Burns.
Ken, they just tore one of the rip-off windshields to help Jeff's vision. Now, they're also finding a problem. Jeff told Ray Evernham when a car gets in behind him in the turns, it really loosens him up. Let's go now to Matt Yoakum with Dale Earnhardt Smith.
It's a two-tire stop for Dale Earnhardt. They are going for track position as they feel most teams will have to take on 4 tires this time, and the next time they will take on 2 as well. They feel that they have the winning strategy right now, as Mark Martin is also down in the way.
You can see they've got some safety equipment out here. They're saying debris in turn 1. I wonder if some of those pieces of tire got a little too big out there.
Well, you don't want to speculate. If there's anything out there, they need to clean it up.
Well, they sure do. You know, that's one thing a driver would hate to see is debris on the track.
Here's the Auto Week in racing. Arco ran the Pepsi 400K Saturday afternoon here at Pocono. 34 cars took green. Lap 7's when the action really got underway. Number 86, Rich Woodland from California gets a little love tap in turn 1 from Kenny Martin. See ya. 75th lap. Watch that red car on the outside. Michigan's Tim Steele from the high side to the bottom and into the lead over Frank Kimmel. That set up Tim Steele for his 7th win of 1997. It marked the 25th win of his career, defeating in second Kimmel and Blaze Alexander third. The ARCA point standings got shuffled. Tim Steele's now on top by 5 over Frank Kimmel. Call 1-800-232-1522 now for a 52-week subscription to Auto Week at the special TV price of just 50 cents an issue. Every week, Auto Week, the first with all the inside news of racing personalities, driving impressions, everything. Call now for Auto Week, 1-800-232-1522. We'll take a quick break and get back to racing here in the Pennsylvania 500.
Brought to you by Gladiator and Universal Luxury Vans, the official vans of tracks, teams, and drivers throughout the NASCAR world. Call 1-800-445-2825 for a dealer near you.
The Amoco mid-race roundup, 7 leaders, 12 lead changes, and a record-blistering 153.145 miles per hour here on Superstation TBS. Out of race, of the 42 starters, only 2, Robbie Gordon right at the outset, and Dave Marcus, as he said, hardest week he's had in racing in years. For the STP Pit Roundup, we'll start with Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Ken, down here, Mark Martin is just now pulling away. He has come back in. He came in for a 4-tire stop a while ago, and he had some damage to the left rear fender, so they brought him in, topped him off, fixed the damage. Also, Dale Earnhardt came in and topped his car off. We thought that maybe we might see Dale Jarrett and the 16 car of Ted Musgrave top off, but they haven't done it. It's going to be close if it goes green, whether these guys can make it on one more stop.
Boy, I tell you, we're having a blast watching the pit strategy unfold down here. Now, the 24 took 2 tires, right sides. The 88 took no tires, gas only for Dale Jarrett. And crew chief Todd Parrott telling Dale, conserve your gas, take it easy to the end. Let's go to Mike Hogwood.
We're in Ricky Craven's pit. He has had one horrible weekend, but something good has finally happened to them. Ricky Craven stayed out on that caution. He got back on the lead lap. He'd gone a lap down. Now Craven on the lead lap, and there are finally some smiles in the Ricky Craven pits.
And a few stops for Mark Martin and Dale Earnhardt. They both came in for a gas and go. They feel that now, if we go green, they can go the rest of the way on fuel. Also, Jeff Burton, when he came in, he took on 2 tires and a track bar adjustment. He's still a tad tight. They really wanted to stay out and get 5 bonus points because that points chase, always valuable.
Craven has pulled himself up to 14th position. Been running out back all day. So things are perking up a little for that Rick Hendrick team. Getting ready on a restart with Jarrett in front, Musgrave second, Gordon in third, Burton in fourth. But the big story will be the man 21st. Ernie Irvan tucked right in behind the pace car. His teammate, Jarrett, will be trying to put him a lap down when they drop that green flag. Ought to get interesting.
Hey, race fans, Budweiser asks, who won? July 18th, 1993, Pocono Raceway. Dale Earnhardt in car number 3 came from 11th position to battle the number 4 of Ernie Irvan early in the race. Meanwhile, Kyle Petty in 42 tried to hold back the blazing fast Ford, number 6 of Mark Martin. Making a strong run to the front from 23rd starting position was Dale Jarrett in car number 18. But who won? Take a look at the contenders. The answer is coming up. Points leader Dale Earnhardt scored his 5th win of 1993 at Pocono. Mark Martin was fastest in final practice, but had to replace the carburetor in his Ford. Engine failure sidelined early race favorite Ernie Irvan. Kyle Petty ran strong, but clutch problems ended his bid for victory. Surviving mechanical problems was Dale Jarrett, but close calls on the track pushed him far back in the field. With all of his major competitors out of the way, Dale Earnhardt was able to cruise to his 58th career Winston Cup win. Who Won was brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beer. This Bud's for you.
The 500, these great pictures from the Durashine aerial platform, Durashine Advanced Auto Polish.
Just wipe it on
and hose it off. Ken Squire and the Pips here with you today. 75 to go. Hey, before we get this thing back underway, ESOP, the official welding and cutting supplier of Petty Enterprises, has a little message for you.
Everybody here in the garage area wants to win races, but the big prize at the end of the year is the Winston Cup Championship, or to finish as high in the points as you can. Now, inevitably, everybody has trouble on the racetrack at some time or another, and the teams bring a lot of equipment to get the cars back on the track to accumulate as many points as possible. With us is Robbie Loomis, the crew chief on the number 43 STP Pontiac. Robbie, you've got a piece of equipment here that's very important to getting back on the racetrack.
You're exactly right. You know, we all love to win races, but our ultimate goal is to win the championship. That's where ESOP provides us this great little welder. Anytime we have a wreck on the track, this welder is probably one of the first things brought out. Doug Murphy and the guys, they get to welding the stuff up. The way we return back on the track, and the car will be staying together good in one piece.
ESOP, the official welding and cutting supplier of Petty Enterprises. Well, let's cut right to the chase. We're getting ready to put this one back under green, get you going after the second caution today on Superstation TBS. 24th annual, $1.4 million Pennsylvania 500 being brought around through the tunnel turn down to that 6-degree banking of turn 3, and we'll get it lined with Jarrett, Musgrave, Gordon, Burton, and Wallace, the front 5. Spencer, Mayfield, Nemechek back there in 6th, 7th, and 8th. Skinner and Dahlin back to 9th and 10th. Holding on, Ernie Irvan to 21st position, trying not to get lapped. Let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
And Ken, the reason he is there at the tail end of the lead lap right now is just before that caution came out, Ernie was stretching the fuel run, ran out of gas just like Ted Musgrave did, stalled the car, could not get it restarted. He lost a lap when the field came by him in the pits.
So Jarrett, Musgrave, Gordon, Burton would love to get Ernie Irvan a lap down. This is the opportunity. Let's see what they can do with it. He's on the tail end of the lead lap as we take green at lap 127. And they thunder down into turn number 1.
You've got 3 cars that got their lap back on that restart. Not only Ernie Irvan, but you've got Ward Burton, and also got Dick Trickle back in the lead lap.
That gets us up towards 120, 21, 22. 22 cars in that lead lap. Look at Ernie Irvan.
Oh, trouble over the tunnel turn.
Terry Labonte getting turned in there. Earnhardt's number 3. Kenny Wallace getting caught in it.
Bill Elliott down against the inside wall there. You see Joe Nemechek.
Derek Cope. They race back to the line. 4th position. A break for Ernie Irvan. A break for Dick Trickle.
Boy, it was not a break for Dale Earnhardt. Look at the right front corner, demolished on that 3.
Look at Richard Childress looking on. The frustration continuing. So they've got some patching to do on number 3, Earnhardt. Incident as they came off that 16-degree banking. Earnhardt on the bottom in the number 3.
You see Bobby Labonte get into his brother Terry Labonte. This triggers a chain reaction. You see everybody swept into it behind him.
And Earnhardt's about to collect number 5, Terry Labonte.
Nowhere to go.
There's Bobby Hamilton scooting through. Bodine on the outside getting by. Brett Bodine on the brakes. Derek Cope sliding. Matt Yoakum is down there with Earnhardt.
Well, Ken, the Goodrich crew already going to work on the right front fender. It's peeled back like a can opener, just ripped right open. They were trying to work on that with duct tape. They were changed the right side tires. Dale says, guys, the toe is already way out. We're going to have to try to work on that. They're working desperately trying to keep this car on the lead lap. And as you can see, they're ripping away parts. Larry McReynolds, Jimmy Ellich. Larry's talking to Dale, telling him to move forward, trying to get a look to see how bad it's towed out. Get back out there. Ken?
Back in the next lap, you can be sure of that. Larry McReynolds, the blonde-haired lad down in front. And here is Terry Labonte leading in the Winston Cup points through 17 events this year by 3 over his teammate. And out comes the tape.
Terry Labonte struggled all day long, and that's what happens when you're out there. You're used to racing, and he was out there riding, trying to make the best of a bad situation, got caught up.
I wonder if the Labonte brothers ride back and forth to the track together.
I don't think they will today.
Take a look again. That was after first contact.
Whoa, I see one car, Joe Nemechek, went way up in the air in the 42 there. You see him in the middle part of the screen there. He almost got upside down there.
Second angle from Mark Martin.
I'm going to tell you something. Mark Martin can say he had a wish come true just now. Look at this coming down through here. You can see right here, that's the two brothers right there. As they start into the corner, they make contact. Right there, and you see Dale Earnhardt right behind them, just back of them. You see all this group coming in. Look at Mark Martin threading the needle back here. Ricky Craven goes by on the high side. Earnhardt gets into Terry Labonte. You can see the 43 there jumping around. The lucky guys were the guys that had the outside of the racetrack to work with. Derek Cope spinning down on the bottom. Joe Nemechek, a while ago, we watched him go way up in the air. Look at the damage to the right front corner. Steve Burns.
Hey, buddy, as you pointed out on that replay, Joe Nemechek took a heavy shot. There's serious damage to the right front corner of his car. They've also knocked the toe out. They've had a string on the right side and the left side to see how badly this thing is essentially knocked out of line. Let's go to Mike Hogwood.
There is sheet metal damage on the left front of Terry Labonte. The hood is popped up just a little bit. But talking with Gary Dehart a moment ago, he says, we don't think there's any chassis damage at all. We think it is just sheet metal damage on the car. We're going to slap a lot of tape on her and send Terry on back out. Sheet metal damage on the number 5. Now this is
Well, thanks, Mike. I'm all the way down here at the end of pit road toward turn 1. Bill Elliott came in. He was involved in that melee out there, and he's got some damage up underneath the car. They're going to have to bring him back in. Meanwhile, Ward Burton comes by me. Ricky Rudd has been in. Terry Labonte a couple times. Also, Ernie Irvin made that lap up. He came in, changed tires, and topped off with fuel. Rusty Wallace also topped off with fuel. So all these guys are taking every chance out of it now that they can't make it on just one more stop. They're stopping and topping off.
128 laps complete, 72 to go. Gordon appropriating first place. Jarrett perched in second. Musgrave is third. Jeff Burton is fourth. Spencer to fifth. Hey, Craven's come up into the top 10.
Promotional fees and consideration have been paid by the following: Valvoline, Exide, and by Race Shop.
Field resuming racing, probably 2 laps away. Guys that have had the Pocono sweeps include Bobby Allison in 82, Bill Elliott in 85, Tim Richmond in 86. Richmond went on to be a 4-time winner here, as did Elliott, as did Darrell Waltrip. Now here is number 3, Earnhardt, back underway, and Matt Yoakum can update us on what's happening with that Richard Childress rig.
Ken, they just came in for the 4th time. Dale thinks he may have a bent ball joint or tie rod. He was sawing the wheel back and forth as Larry McReynolds took a look at it. Next time, they think if they still have an extended yellow, they may try to make a right front fender. But right now, Larry and Dale and Richard Childress are talking about that on the radio.
So Earnhardt pitting, will take him back some points as of now. Gordon back in front big time. Martin would jump up into second, and Terry Labonte fall all the way from first to third in the Winston Cup standings after 18 in the 32 point counting races. Mark Martin very much making himself a factor once again. He's in 11th. Craven is 10th. And that number 18, Bobby Labonte, who got into the back end of his brother, he's in 9th. Johnny Benson has come up to 8th. Bahari's had some problems here this week. The Bahari racing team, things looking a lot better for them now. Beautiful shot as the field glides through that very flat third turn. Triangle here on this 2.5-mile track. Every corner different. So whatever you set up for, you're pretty much wrong for the other two. pace car coming, or pace truck coming in, and we're back underway. Gordon in first, Jarrett in second, Musgrave third, Jeff Burton is fourth, Jimmy Spencer is fifth, and it's Skinner, the rookie, in sixth, followed by Benson, Labonte, Craven, the top 10. Smooth start for Gordon. Back in command. Point battle. 8th race. Look at Jimmy Spencer scoop down to the inside. Jeff Burton's bumper cam giving you these pictures as he wheels around. Stays in front of Spencer once again. Through the tunnel turn. Now into that very flat third turn. For the lead, Gordon and Jarrett. Race went back under green at lap 131. Musgrave in third spot, tucked right in behind Steve Grissom, number 41.
You think they get close in the corners here? Boy, I guarantee you couldn't put a sample trapper in between Jeff Burton's car right there and Mike Skinner as they started off turn one there and down that long back straightaway. Watch Skinner as they go in the corner. You can see him closing right back in.
There's your top three. And you can see Musgrave is scooted beneath the number 41 of Grissom. Grissom is 25th, and they continue to work hard on that fender. I think they're preparing Hamburg down there.
Well, right now, aerodynamically, he is driving a brick. So they're trying to get as much of the sheet metal back so they can attach it back on the car and gain some kind of aerodynamics on the race car.
But Earnhardt is out here while they continue to work on that fender back in the pit area. 4 of the top 9 have never won a race. At the outset today, Buddy Baker was talking about the potential for someone to turn this race around. Lead change. Jarrett to the inside, and the crowd goes wild. 139,000 people up. Yay or nay on this one. Jarrett puts the Ford back in front of Burton.
You can see the crowd. Anytime that Jeff Gordon gets past anymore, the crowd really reacts. But look in third place there. Musgrave is really on a tear right now, running third and closing in on Jeff Gordon.
Will this be the day? Will it be the one where a newcomer knocks on the door and says hello to a victory lane in Winston Cup racing? There's Musgrave right there in third. He has been strong all day. 134 laps are now complete. It's Jarrett up in front, and right with him comes Gordon, followed by Musgrave. Then it's Spencer back and forth, and he's better than 1 1/10 of a second back from these three. Skinner is staying 6th, having a great day. The teammate of Earnhardt. Then comes Johnny Benson, the sophomore driver who was Rookie of the Year 1 year ago, followed by Bobby Labonte, who got bounced around with his brother up there in the end of that high bank first turn.
Jeff Gordon would love to close in just a little more on Jarrett, maybe making a little bit loose getting off the corner, but he's got all kind of trouble with Musgrave as they head down the front straightaway.
Meanwhile, Ricky Craven slides under Mark Martin and comes to 9th. Craven, who started way back at 36 today, flying.
And Jimmy Spencer has cleared lap traffic. He just got by the 41 car, Steve Grissom. Now he's trying to reel in the leaders.
Here comes Grissom down on the inside.
Musgrave makes a great move there on the inside of Jeff Gordon as they head down the back straightaway. It looks like Musgrave may have the track position as they head down into the tunnel turn.
Ted Musgrave out of Franklin, Wisconsin is there, and he's into second place. 1995, his finest finish was here at Pocono. He took second. He's looking for Dale Jarrett right now.
Well, they all better get going because that yellow car there, that's Mr. Excitement, Jimmy Spencer. And, buddy, let me tell you, if he gets up there, look for things to happen.
Two-time winner Jimmy Spencer in fourth. And this is his home state crowd. He's got something to prove here today. Spencer right up there. The front four all together. And then just about 12 car lengths back comes that number 99. Jeff Burton in 5th. Skinner in 6th. Benson in 7th. Labonte, Raven. Whoa, trouble. Ernie Irvan in the wall. Yellow is down. You could hear the scream of the tires, and you saw the impact. Ernie Irvan down in turn 1.
You know, it hadn't been long ago. Dale Jarrett reported he's having trouble getting a bite on his... Oh, look at Ted Musgrave, though. He's trying to move in here. He wants to lead this race.
Yeah, they come down to finish this lap off. They race back to the line around this 2.5-mile track. It is a run. Here's Musgrave pulling up. He's coming after Jarrett as they come to the line for caution.
Okay.
It'll be Jarrett first, Musgrave second, Gordon third.
What I was talking about, it hadn't been long ago we were getting reports from Dale Jarrett that Ernie was not pleased with the car getting a grip on the racetrack. This is what happens so many times, but he might have had some help. We hadn't seen the replays yet.
Robert Yates looking on. Ernie Irvan out of number 28 and out of the race for today. A look at what happened to Ernie Irvan here in the Pennsylvania 500.
Well, I know that's the 4 car there, Sterling Marlin. Whether they had any contact getting in the corner, you really couldn't tell, but I can tell you this. Ernie Irvan hit very hard on the driver's side. It's good to see him out of the car and not injured.
Yeah, that is the best news of all. They have lost a car, but he is okay. You see that driver's side go in. It gives you a long pause. He'll be taken to the infield care center here at Pocono. Be checked out. You saw him walk in. Robert Yates looking on. That's a tough one. Jarrett and Musgrave 1 and 2, Gordon 3, Spencer 4th, Burton 5. We're at lap 137. 63 to go. Fourth caution of the day. Speed coming down. That record we were running at of 155 miles an hour, that may be a thing of the past. The lead continues to be Jarrett's, but the story of this race is Musgrave, the guy who gave it such a run in '95.
Yeah.
Oh, a little fake job there. You could see the 88 of Dale Jarrett acting like he's coming in the pit. It looked like Musgrave was going to fall for it. Jarrett pulled back out. Musgrave said, "Oh, no, not this time."
From 22nd position, Ted Musgrave ready to challenge for the lead when we take green another time. All right, get that fuel ready. They're going to need it another time. Coming up next on TBS, Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen. And WCW takes on the evil forces from the NWO. Yes, indeed. WCW Pro Wrestling is next against the New World Order on the Superstation TBS. And to clear up any misunderstanding, that is not Buddy Baker at the 600 charity ball.
I'm telling you, looking good, Rick.
Ric Flair himself. There's the Weather Channel blimp giving us some additional shots today. And we need some as we get down to finish this one. 139 laps deep into this 200-lap event. This is getting into a real war here today. Ernie Irvan is out, crashing in turn 1. You see the work going on Earnhardt's rig. That's a big break for him, having this caution come out. Larry McReynolds right back to work, patching up the front and trying to get him back. And Matt Yoakum can tell us more.
Well, Ken, right now they're working on the front balance. You can see Larry McReynolds pulling it back because when he went down into the grass off the racetrack, it bent that back underneath while Jimmy Elledge is working on the fender. They rebuilt that fender. They wanted a caution, and they got it, but they almost didn't have the fender done. Now, remember, this is all because Earnhardt pitted for a little splash of gas because they figured that if it went green for the rest of the way, they would only have to come in and take on fuel while everybody else would have to pit at least twice. So sometimes you gamble and you win, sometimes you gamble and you lose.
Tough year for Irvan. Crashes at Richmond, Texas, Dover, and now at Pocono. Another look on board with Mark Martin. This is what happened to Ernie Irvan. Down on the inside.
You know, just for a second there, it looked like Ernie might have gone down almost into the grass with the left front wheel.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if the 4-car had kind of pinched him down there or if he got down there. Really, it was just not enough to make the call.
We're getting ready to resume. 140 now on the board. Jarrett, Musgrave, Gordon, Spencer, the front four. Hey, Spencer's got something to prove here today.
Race fans, you make the call. New LCI residential long-distance customers receive 30 minutes of free domestic calling and the World Card Plus calling card featuring participating NASCAR drivers. Don't delay. Call now. 1-888-TEAM-LCI.
Mike Hogwood is standing by with a guy that just had misfortune down here in turn 1.
Ernie, what happened? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. You know, it's good people are concerned. We were all concerned, but you know, I just got underneath the 4-car, and you know, he must not have saw me and just come down, and we bumped, and you know, I spun and hit the fence.
Well, another day in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
Ernie Irvan, he's fine, Ken.
That's the good news. As we mentioned, when you see that driver's door go flush up against the wall, it really gives you palpitations, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. And Ernie's a tough lad. I'll tell you what, most people that would have shook up about. He was a gentleman about it. He just said it was a racing occurrence. He didn't point the finger at anyone.
Musgrave in second. Glenn Jarrett can tell us more about that story.
Ken, they just had an impromptu team meeting down here. We're looking at Crew Chief James Ensign. I want to find, hey, what'd you tell those guys in that meeting?
Well, I have a feeling a lot of people would like to know what we told them in that meeting. Basically, what I told them is they're going to have to put a little bit of trust in me, and same thing we told Ted. And there ain't no telling what we're going to do at the end of this thing.
Well, we got a report that NASCAR was over here coaching them on how to act in victory lane. I don't think that's the case, but they sure got a great chance of getting there today.
Now that's, you want to cast lots in the wrong direction? That's a good, right? That's like talking in the no-hitter. Well, Baker said at the outset we'd see a first-time winner.
I said it could happen. This racing game is a fickle, fickle thing.
Dale Jarrett brings him down. Pace truck coming in.
Green flag.
141 complete. 59 to go. Jarrett leads them into turn number 1. Ted Musgrave right there in second. Gordon in third. And look at this scramble.
Let's see. No, that's the 29 there, Jeff Green on the inside. You see him on the outside taking away some of the racing lines for the guys there, second, third, fourth, and fifth, as they try to get by Green. Of course, he's trying to make up a lap.
Chad Little right there. Haven't given him much of a call today. Having a good run. Up in 25th spot. Trying to come back on that lap. Here we are over the tunnel turn with Jarrett and Musgrave first and second, and Gordon sorting himself out. Moved around Spencer. Now Spencer gets back underneath it. And he challenges Green. At number 29, Jeff Green is in 24th position, a lap down. Superstation TBS bringing you live coverage of the 24th annual Pennsylvania 500. Jarrett in front with Musgrave as they march off into turn number 1. And here comes the Jimmy Spencer machine, Mr. Excitement, up into third.
Well, they better do something pretty quick because the first 2 cars have checked out right now. This is Jimmy Spencer just ahead of Jeff Gordon. Spencer running extremely well. I'm sure it would mean a lot to him to win this close to his home.
Jarrett and Musgrave first and second as they try to check out. Then you see third and fourth, Spencer and Gordon. Steve Burns.
Guys, it's amazing how well Jimmy Spencer is running. This is the same car he brought here in June, and he finished only 19th. But they changed the setup completely, and they changed motors this morning. They're concentrating on getting off of turn 3.
Gordon comes after Spencer. Spencer doesn't want to give it up. Side by side. Cool lift first. Gordon is there. Spencer wisely lets him through.
And while they're battling, the lead 2 are pulling away.
know, the interesting car right now is the 99 of Jeff Burton. He is moving himself into contention. That car will be a factor before the end of the day.
23 car, Jimmy Spencer stays right here in the front four. Glenn Jarrett can tell us more.
Well, remember, if you saw the happy hour show we did on TBS yesterday, remember I talked to Jimmy Spencer at the end of it, and he said he had the worst happy hour he'd ever had. Nothing went right. They only got 5 laps of practice, none of them really up to speed. They were completely lost, didn't know what the car had for them. And look at him today. This is an amazing turnaround from the trouble they had yesterday to running right up front, contending for the win today.
Travis Carter, the crew chief on that particular car right there, many years with Junior Johnson, he knows his stuff. And I'll tell you what, it wasn't all guessing. He knew what he was putting under there.
.145 complete with 55 laps to go. It's Jarrett and Musgrave, and there is Earnhardt in that lead lap, but well back in 21st position. Congratulations are in order for him today. Ron Hornaday, that brilliant talent that he has in the Craftsman Truck Series, outstanding race yesterday at Denver, Colorado. Had that field covered, and he did it in just a masterful manner. Bill Elliott in the 94. Look at him.
Wow, 3 wide in that turn. 3 wide with Bill Elliott on the outside. You don't want to be there, Bill. Good job saving it.
That was slowed down some. You're a new viewer. That was what, 160, 170 mile an hour save?
Well, it didn't get serious. It started up near the left front fender and worked its way back to where it really got him out of shape. They were very, very lucky that Darrell Waltrip and Bill Elliott didn't go around right there.
Best of the best. These folks try to make a correction like that and tell all walls. There's that front four. Jarrett, Musgrave deployed first and second. Gordon Spencer, third and fourth. There are your leaders. Couple of Fords honking out in front.
You said that right. Look at Ted Musgrave there. He's putting a lot of pressure on Jarrett. If Jarrett's car is a little bit off, Musgrave is going to get him. So he's up there now, left in the car, left back. Got all the power he needs. You see down the straightaway, giving no quarters there.
I tell you, Ted looks like he can run right on the bottom, too, wherever he wants to run. This car really looks like it's working for him now.
I tell you, it'd be something to see a 16 win today. Remember the last time we saw a 16 as a regular winner? How about Darrell Derringer?
Oh,
remember when he used to run
sure.
like the Southern 500 back in the mid-60s? The great Bud Rohr and Mercury Comet. Darrell was some driver. Darrell Derringer come down to the Holiday Inn wearing his racing uniform every morning. Get himself right ready to go over there at Daytona. He is missed. Well, that number 16 looks better every lap. Stays right there. Does he have anything more to offer in that car? Going to find out here before too much longer.
482, good lap.
Matt Yoakum, how about it?
Well, Ken, the Flying Ace is definitely pulling yeoman duty today. Larry, how is the 3-car now? What's Dale saying about it?
Well, we've helped it a bunch by getting the fender back on there. It's just, dadgum, I can't believe that happened. You know, we had a chance to cash in on a fuel mileage deal there, just like Rudd and the rest of them. I knew the 16 was going to be able to do it. And I've always been one that's been leery of putting them in the back of the pack, and it bit us then. But it's a lot better than it was the first run without the fender, but not a whole lot of laps to go and a lot of cars on the lead lap.
They've had bad luck at Pocono here in June. They had a broken valve, still finished 10th. It should be a long afternoon today.
To 20th goes number 3. Here's number 2, Rusty Wallace. Keep track of him. He's in 10th, and that's Mark Martin right with him. He is in 11th. Craven has fallen to 12th. Trickle is in 13th. Schrader in 14th.
You can see Mark Martin close in just a little bit at the end of the straightaway as they head into turn 1. Both cars right down on the bottom of the racetrack as they start off turn 1 here and down the long stretch on the back straightaway there. You can see right now that Mark Martin is really working with the number 2 of Rusty Wallace, trying to make up track position.
3 different corners, 3 lengths of straightaway, longest straightaway in Winston Cup racing down the main stretch. Then it's that 3,000-foot long pond straightaway and the short chute to the very flat third turn here. That's what you have to accomplish every lap around this 2.5-mile racing facility. As you see Wallace in number 2, threading his way out of turn number 3 and back into the main straightaway. Meanwhile, up in front, the 88 and the 16. And there's a little bit of interval now. Maybe 7, 8 car lengths. Remember Darlington, March of this year, Jarrett and Musgrave, 1 and 2. Looking at Jeff Gordon in third, Spencer is fourth, and Burton is in fifth. Mike Skinner keeps that Lowe's rig right there in sixth spot.
Ken, you talk about that long front straightaway, the longest in NASCAR. Remember in June, we had a lot of brake trouble. I wonder if that will come into play at all this afternoon. We haven't seen any problems yet, but now's the time of the race when those kind of things are going to start to come into play.
Glenn?
Well, Greg, some of the guys told me this morning one of the reasons for the brake problems they were having because the turns here are so flat and you have to work on the downforce on the car so much that they have actually refunneled the air. You know, they use the air to cool the brakes. Well, now because they're trying to get so much downforce on the nose of the car, they've rerouted some of that air and they're not blowing it on the brakes and cooling them. And the guy from one of the brake companies told me that the good cars were running like 600 to 800 degrees temperature on the brake, on the disc itself. The guys that were having trouble that weren't handling as well, 1,000 to 1,200 degrees. That's what was causing the brake problems. They were working on the chassis so much, taking that air away from the ducts that blow onto the brakes.
Right there's the guy you better keep your eye on. Jeff Burton is closing in as we speak. I mean, he is motoring around the fastest part of the racetrack. If you don't get off this corner right here, you don't run fast down the fastest part of the track, down the front straightaway. Jeff Burton is flying right now.
He short tracks it around that turn 3, and for him there are now 48 laps to get it done, and you can see how close he is in 5th position. Burton definitely closing down in the front 4. Jarrett, Musgrave, Gordon, and Spencer. And look at this, way wide. How about 4? How about 5?
How about 2 when you get back to the corner?
Maybe. Breathtaking racing. Winston Cup on Superstation TBS. Hope you're enjoying it. Don't forget, Sunday, October 5th, Charlotte, North Carolina. That's going to be a great one. And then later on this year, off to Japan once again. A field of 31 cars already entered for that event. It was fun last year, buddy. Looking forward to it?
Oh, you bet. I tell you what, that was more fun than about anything that I've ever done. The race people over there, right at first they didn't know what to think of the Winston Cup, but all of a sudden
right away they didn't know what to think of Buddy Baker. Well, going
hey, I'm not going there, believe me.
He had one favorite restaurant. No kidding, Sachs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he learned one word in Japanese. It was called hamburger.
Hamburger?
Yeah, right. All right, the Suzuka Thunder Special 100, November the 22nd, here on TBS. Yeah, he wasn't too much on those little raw fishing things at all.
They tell me I wouldn't know, but the sake helps that go down. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know about that.
You don't? Jarrett and Musgrave, 1 and 2. Gordon and Spencer, 3 and 4. And Burton continuing to stay right there. This is going to be fun, folks. Please stay with us on the Superstation live, flag-to-flag coverage of the Pennsylvania 500. Join us October 5th for the UAW GM Quality 500 from Charlotte Motor Speedway. 1996 Winston Cup champion Terry Labonte, defending champ there. 105 on Sunday, October 5th from the mile and a half. Beautiful Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Ken, somebody's made Jeff Gordon a little anxious here. He's moving back into the fray here. He's broke away from Jimmy Spencer and moving closer and closer to the lead 2 Fords there.
157 complete when they come by. 43 to go. Just behind this trio, this duo. Jimmy Spencer, and right with him comes Burton in the 99.
And Jeff Burton is hungry. He wants to the front. He wants to get up with the lead 3.
Top 5 separated by about 2 seconds.
And there he goes. He's making his move to the inside of Spencer. Burton on by, makes the pass, takes over fourth spot.
Boy, you can see right there, Spencer's car would not hold to the low part of the racetrack.
Matt Yoakum can tell us more about this 99.
Ken, that was a planned pass. Jimmy Spencer felt that the 99 car of Jeff Burton was a little bit faster. He said, if Jeff gets to me, I will let him by and follow him. Hopefully, both of these Fords can get to the front.
Well, he better throw out the anchor because that 99 is saying, I'm sailing to a different sea.
Area code 411. I'm gone.
Now let's see if he can reel in the lead three.
I believe he is. Let's check him out. He's 2 2/10 of a second back, and it's 2.7 back to Jimmy Spencer. Skinner stays 6th, Bobby Labonte 7th, Mayfield 8th, Benson 9th, and Wallace 10th. Behind him, you've got Martin, followed by Schrader up to 12th, then Dick Trickle, Ward Burton, Kyle Petty is in 15th, Elliott, Cope, Rudd, Dallenbach, and in 20th, Crable. Welcome aboard if you're just joining us this afternoon on Superstation TBS. 24th Annual Pennsylvania 500 from the 2.5-mile Pocono Raceway. Watching this trio lead the way as we get down to about 42 laps to go next time by. Under the hood on Wally Dallenbach, Steve Burns is there.
Ken, tough break. They had high hopes here today, and they started third. Wally said they thought they could win the race. He just shut the motor off, so obviously, with the hood down, he is done for the day.
Had a great run, qualified third today to Dallenbach. Best qualifying effort ever. Had some great finishes up there at Watkins Glen. Was hoping to make this one come together for him. Not going to be. Jarrett working on that third win of the year. Those back-to-back wins at Atlanta and Darlington, figuring big for him to keep him fourth in the Winston Cup points.
And it will be slow when you get through here at Apex.
It looks like Jarrett's slowing.
You'll clear him out. You'll clear him. Keep going.
That or Musgrave has really turned it up because he is catching it.
He closed 5 car lengths in the tunnel turn between there and turn 3.
Saw Mayfield moving around out there, getting himself another spot. David Green coming in very slowly and going back to the garage area. David Green running 23rd, the tires from the event. Now there are 40 laps left in this Pennsylvania 500.
Boy, look at that interval right there. First 3 cars as they go across the tunnel turn. You see Terry Labonte, who had trouble earlier, kind of limping around the racetrack here. He's seeing that point space go down the tube right now as far as him being the leader.
The catching up is done by Musgrave, and it seems to be on this flat third corner almost every time around now.
And Musgrave is really flying through that tunnel turn. He closed a lot of ground there.
How's your chance?
It looks like the flatter part of the track is really working well for that Ford.
4 tires. I'm pretty good here.
Steve Burns with Wally Dallenbach.
Wally, you guys had a great starting position, some decent pit stops. What happened?
Something let go under the hood for the first Union car. Shane, I mean, we're getting better and better every week. Guys are doing an awesome job, and the motors in the car, we just need a little bit of luck.
Needing a little bit of luck and making his own right now. Jeff Burton in the 99 is pulling up on that front 3.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You can see what kind of margin they have right now. Jeff Burton closed down some 10 car lengths in the last 3 laps.
One more stop. Fill them up. One more stop for tires. Jarrett, Musgrave, Gordon,
DJ, the 24 car says you need to be freed up just a little bit and you'll be okay.
Equidistant as they can.
Tires only is all you need.
Working just behind them, Jimmy Spencer. They're your point leaders. The first of the heavy hitters coming in. Bobby Labonte brings in that number 18. He has been running in 8th position. Final stop. just in front of him, Mike Skinner, who's been running in 6th, and he's away. Skinner went out in 15.08 seconds. You can see the clock. Wow. And some time there, 20.3 before they get Labonte back underway. Leader on pit road.
Boy, this is important here. This is the one that'll make the difference, I think.
Glenn Jarrett is there.
And Ted Musgrave comes in for what should be his final pit stop. I don't believe they're going to change the 2 tires. That's what Mike Skinner did. That's the reason his stop was so fast. Musgrave has been complaining about the car being a little tight off the tunnel turn, so they're going to try to loosen it up with a track bar adjustment. They are on the right side, and that's all they're going to do. The car's down. They're filling up with fuel. A little slow there. I got him at 14.67 seconds, so Musgrave away. That should be his final stop.
Musgrave back out on the track. He was not the leader as he came in. Jarrett remaining out there another lap in the lead. Gordon right there in 2nd now. Burton 3rd. Now we've got a leader, number 88, Jarrett on pit road. This is it. This is the one that can make the difference. And 99, Burton is coming in at the same time.
If Dale Jarrett's in, they're going to make a slight chassis adjustment, guys. A half a round out the left rear. And I believe, yes, they are going to take 4 tires. Crew Chief Todd Barrett told Dale Jarrett the 16 took just 2, but they're going to put on 4. Let's go to the 99 pit stop.
Frank Stoddard, if everybody already done 2 tires for Jeff Burton and fuel. A great stop. They added a half a pound of air to the right rear. Just fine-tuning this 99 Ford.
Well, that sets it up.
Did you see a mask job just then? The tire people went over to the left side. I didn't see any tires being changed.
Here's 24. This is Gordon, your current leader. He is working lap 165 as he brings it to a halt.
And Spencer right with him at the same time.
Mike Hogwood is there.
Jeff Gordon, they're on the right side now. They come over, will change left side. They will be putting 1 round into the right rear to try to tighten it up just a little bit. Jeff Gordon is down and away, 18-3. Good stop for the Rainbow Warriors.
Boy, oh boy, a great stop. You can see Jeff Gordon following Jimmy Spencer down pit road.
35 laps, 87.5 miles. He has the time to get it done.
Spencer came in behind Gordon and actually got out ahead of him. Spencer's the one that really made the advantage in the pit.
Well, look at this. They're back at it again. You see Dale Jarrett there in the 88. Almost in contact.
Oh, Jimmy, let's trade a little paint.
He will, buddy. He's not shy.
Mark Martin entering pit road. Slowing down 65 miles an hour. Rusty Wallace now pitting in the deuce. He is being shown in 3rd. Martin had been your leader. They're both in. As is Triple. Now Rudd pits. .15.5, and Wallace is away. Matt Yoakum.
Ricky Rudd comes to a stop. They are soldiering on today. They were involved in that accident with Dale Earnhardt. They've got rear damage to the car. They worked on the left front. They had a little bit of an oil leak around the oil cooler. He's having 4 tires. Also, Mark Martin is on his way down pit road the next time by. They are done on the pit car. A little bit of trouble on the left front. He's down and away.
Rudd came in 9th.
You know, that was very interesting. Some cars took on 2 tires, some took on 4. We'll see what real... I really don't know. I think if you got to fill up, you might as well get 4 because it takes a certain amount of time to get 20 gallons of fuel.
Benson, he had inherited the lead. Now on pit road of the Bahari team.
Buddy, they can get the fuel in about 13.5 to 14 seconds. Yeah. And when they make that stop, they're going to take 18 to 20. So
I believe I'd still rather have new tires right near the end here. It's going to come down to a shootout, and I want a handle to win.
Craven coming in. With these pit stops, he had moved up to 7th. Now Kyle Petty has the advantage. Kyle Petty up in front for the moment, getting 5 additional bonus points. Back for the conclusion of the Pennsylvania 500 after this. Back with you, down for the finish. Pocono Raceway, Pennsylvania 500. It's been a dandy so far, and right now it's a strategy game. With 169 of the 200 laps complete, there you have your leader. It's Kyle Petty, carrying our Econo-Lodge camera, up in first spot. Bill Elliott finds himself second. Derek Cope has come to third, and Earnhardt is in fourth with 30 laps to go this time by. And look for Earnhardt to try to stay out here and see if he can't pick up a caution. He'll stay out here just as long as he can, down to about 10 laps to go. Take a look at some of these pit times. Craven with a 10.3.
Johnny Benson with a 13.4.
Very quick in that time in. Let's get some pit updates out here and go to Glenn Jarrett, the STP Pit Roundup.
Well, I'm still in Ted Musgrave's pit, and again, to recap what they did, they came in, they only changed 2 tires, and they made a track bar adjustment to try to free the car up a little bit. However, his teammate, Jeff Burton, gained a lot of ground on him in the pit. But the guy I want to talk about really is Mike Skinner. Great job today. They came in for a 2-tire change. When this thing cycles around, Skinner should be in 6th position.
And talking about strategy here on pit road, the 88 of Dale Jarrett, Todd Parrott decided to take 4 tires, and he just radioed Dale and said, man, we're eating them alive. 4 tires was the way to go. Let's go down pit road.
We're in Jimmy Spencer's pit. He only took 2 tires on that pit stop. However, he has already been passed by Jeff Gordon, who made a chassis adjustment and took on 4 new tires. To Matt Yoakum.
Every time a car comes in, people jump over the wall to try to look down and see what the cars further up pit road are doing. 4 tires or 2. When the 99 came in, they acted like they were taking off 4 tires over the radio. Frankie Stoddard saying, buddy, we're taking 4. Remember, 4 tires we're taking. You know what I mean? Is they're really only taking 2, hoping other teams would think they're taking on 4 and try to take on 4 tires. Back upstairs.
Kyle Petty had been leading, now pits, and here's the 99 going side by side and wheel to wheel with his teammate, and he is away up another spot at 99 around Musgrave for 6th position.
And it's Dale Jarrett right behind him, putting the pressure on. Musgrave getting a little loose there. There goes Jarrett.
And Jarrett with 4 tires. He is flying out here, buddy.
He's coming up through there very, very quickly now, and you can see him gaining down. As we ride with him down in the tunnel turn there, you can just look back, and these 2 cars are really on the go here.
Bill Elliott for the moment in front. Cope still being shown in 2nd. Earnhardt's a 3rd. Looks like Earnhardt's going to get a shot at first place for a little bit, just as we see the 94 and the 36 come in here. They say there's some smoke on the back of 43. See it there, buddy? Greg?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, sure was.
Bobby Hamilton beginning to have problems toward the end of this one, running 32nd. There's 1st and 2nd, Elliott and Cope. McDonald's versus Skittles. Ah, the commercial world of it all.
Well, let's tell everybody that they have not made their pit stops yet. The full cycle on pit stops has not occurred yet, but Bill Elliott's done a great job today. He has enough tape on the front of that thing to write home on, but he's just stayed out there and told you, as we speak, he comes down pit road.
So Bill Elliott comes on to pit road. Derek Cope goes into 1st place.
It looks like Jeff Burton is the leader of all the cars that have pitted. When all the cycle finishes, I think that Burton will be on top.
Jeff Burton just behind Jeff Bodine. Bodine being shown in 4th, and Rusty Wallace looks like he's coming off the pace. The 2-car started as a provisional, ran up through the field, gave it a tremendous run today. To no avail. Number 2, Wallace, retiring from the event. Or do you think he ran it out?
I'm looking at the right rear corner of that car. It has a lot of damage on it. Whether that was done earlier in the race or I wouldn't speculate at all. He's going behind pit road, Rusty Wallace.
He is out. It's a tough one for a guy who has won here twice in 91 and 96. And here is Derek Cope, Dale Earnhardt, now becomes the new leader as Cope pits. Battle torn, looking a little rumpled and rugged out there. And that number 3 has looked that way on more than one occasion this year, but he rides it out. Battle for second right here. That is all for position. Bodine is not pitted in that number 7.
Dale Jarrett, and you can see coming with him there, Jeff Gordon really flying up through there. 4 new tires. Jeff Burton's got his work cut out for him. He's going to hold these boys back.
Behind Burton, currently in 4th. Then you have in 5th Jarrett, 6th Gordon. 7th is Musgrave, 8th is Spencer, 9 Skinner, and Mark Martin is in 10th. Showing 25 laps remaining to the end of this Pennsylvania 500. Jeff Burton can pull it off here today, Greg?
Boy, I tell you, it's going to really show. These tires is going to be the answer. I don't know that it's going to make it for him.
I can see the 88 of Dale Jarrett looking on the inside as they started down the back straightaway there. He just took a peek. I think right now you have to really be patient. These guys that have 4 tires right now just need to be patient. At the right time, draft right by him down the front straightaway. You can see Dale Jarrett closing in as we speak. I mean, he's catching him 2 car lengths every lap now.
Jeff Burton at 99. Remember, the 2 cars in front of him have yet to make a stop. Earnhardt and Burton, or rather Earnhardt only now, Burton. And here is Earnhardt in. This is happening as we complete lap 176. Earnhardt is on pit road. Waltrip is in as well. Matt Yoakum.
Well, Ken, Dale Earnhardt comes to a stop. They're not going to take on a full load of fuel because they don't need a full load to go all the way. They're just going to take maybe a can and a half. It's going to be a 2-tire stop. Danny Chocolate Myers, off-road member. He slips a little bit, but it's 11.6 seconds. Earnhardt is down and away.
Yeah, they're back in this thing, and let's see how it's going to wind out now with this 25 laps remaining to decide it all today.
Again, 4 tires or no, you can't lean on them too hard trying to make up too much distance, because there is a time when 4 tires, if you heat them up, can go away on you, and you're in the same shape to the guy that maybe didn't change tires. So right now they have to be kind of patient and kind of close in. I see Jeff Burton has actually pulled out a couple of car lengths now.
57 miles left in this one. Jeff Burton is in front. 7 top 10s in the last 9 races for number 99, Jeff Burton. We'll see what happens here on TBS. Pocono Raceway, down to the last 47.5 miles of this NASCAR Winston Cup, race number 18. In this greatest of all series in American motorsport for sure, and from the Durashine aerial platform, this view of the sold-out capacity house at the 2.5-mile Pocono International Raceway. The leader is now number 88, Jarrett, as he shot by Jeff Burton, who had become the 14th different leader today. The event record, 15 different leaders, and that goes back to 1987. Let's show you how he took that lead.
Well, you can see right here, Jarrett makes a strong move towards the tunnel turn. He moves to the inside, gets that desired groove there, going into the tunnel turn. You see Michael Waltrip on the outside. Made it look pretty easy, Greg.
I tell you, sure did. And that was those 4 tires that paid off from there. I think Jeff Burton's going to have his hands full with Gordon now.
Live pictures now as you watch 99. Jeff Burton trying to fend off Jeff Gordon. The 2 Jeffs are at it here, trying to chase down Jarrett. As to what happened to Rusty Wallace today, let's hear it from the man himself.
Rusty is here, and Rusty, you started with a provisional, and you've made it to the top 10 in no time. You had a great run going for you, Blue Up.
Yeah, the car was fast. It was really good today. The motor ran excellent. But, man, we were knocking them off left and right. Everything was going great. And then right there at the end there, we lost an engine. I don't know what happened. It just shut off. That's racing, I guess. So we'll just go on home and see what happened and go to the next race.
Rusty Wallace not at all unhappy with today's run.
Not at all unhappy with the way the 24 is running. Jeff Gordon takes down the young Jeff, drops him back to 3rd, and it again, it was that second turn, the tunnel turn, where the deed was done. Riding with Jeff Burton. Main straightaway. Time running out. Has Gordon got enough to collect Jarrett? He's done it before this season. Trying to stay with you right through to the finish now, unless there is a caution period. Ned Jarrett must be excited today. He was with us yesterday out in Colorado to see that truck race. Looking forward to seeing if Dale was going to put his third checkered flag hat on here today. Take a look at the records, the race summary. Record 16. We've had, actually, I think we've had 15 to Burton, haven't we? Lead changes, 23.
4 cautions. I don't remember 4 cautions. This thing like a run all day long under the green. These guys are really getting with it here.
So what about the 88 and the 24? Can they stay this way? 10, Gordon, chase down, Jarrett. Matt Yoakum might be able to give us a little enlightenment on that story.
Well, Ken, if you look at the record book, both these teams have their best pieces out here. Gordon has Blacker. 11 of his 26 victories have come in this car. It was their very first Monte Carlo at Hendrick Motorsports. As far as BJ, Brad Perry told me they call this car big money. In 3 races this year, it's won $500,000. Darlington, Atlanta, you name it, this car always runs well. It looks like Gordon may be catching him a little bit. Gordon loves this car, and he won with this car when they were here in June.
For the moment, Jarrett crawling away, able to withstand anything that Gordon or Burton can throw at him. Not Earnhardt in front. Some of us predicted this was going to be the day he would right the world again after 44 straight losses, but not going to be that way. For the number 3 car, it's 16th position right now with 15 laps remaining for Earnhardt. The 16 car, Musgrave, now 4th. What's happened to him, Glenn?
Well, as we speculated, the 2 tire change was the big difference with Musgrave. His car was loose before he came in a little bit. Actually, excuse me, it was a little bit tight. When they only put 2 tires on the car, it really loosened it up. So the left side tires have kind of given up. The car is very, very loose right now. He's just trying to hang on and finish 4th. Jimmy Spencer's going to give him a run for 4th place if he's not careful.
Jarrett by better than a second in front of Gordon. Burton staying 3rd, Musgrave 4th, Jimmy Spencer 5th, and the rookie Mike Skinner in 6th. And you have Martin, Mayfield, Kyle Petty, and Bobby Labonte rounding out the top 10. Doing a complete field rundown here, so keep track of your favorites. The 88 car, Steve, of Dale Jarrett out here this afternoon. Steve Burns, everything all right with him?
Well, actually, Ken, no. The end of this race is not a foregone conclusion. Dale Jarrett just radioed in and said this thing is getting tight and it's getting worse and worse. So he's got his hands full with 14 laps to go.
But he leads by a little more. 1 4/10 of a second now.
Well, what they're talking about is the car about right this point in the corner right there does not want to turn. You see it moving up the racetrack there as he goes by Bobby Hamilton, who's struggling right at the moment. Had a little bit of smoke coming out earlier, but the car is not sticking to the bottom of the racetrack to suit Jarrett. And what that does, it really builds that heat in the right front and makes it give up even more as it starts pushing.
Checking the interval this time by to see if Jarrett can sustain this 1 4/10 of a second advantage. Dale Jarrett over Jeff Gordon in 2nd spot. The 95 winner. Winner at Atlanta, winner at Darlington, and back-to-back events this season has it for the moment.
Surprisingly enough, with Jarrett leading, the pressure is on him. You know, with the car tightening up like this, he doesn't know how hard to run the car. The harder he runs it to keep the lead, the more the car will tighten up, heating up that tire.
And the only way to make it quit pushing is to back out of the throttle. If it ever takes off for the wall, you can't turn the wheel more and make it turn. You have to back out of the throttle to make the tire stick to the racetrack.
Right, and he's only got 1.4-second lead. He can't afford to back off, so he's really between a rock and a hard place.
And it's down to 1-3. The great Ned Jarrett, two-time Winston Cup champion, has said of Dale, he's a much better race driver than I ever dreamed of being because he's such a great athlete. He takes a lot of bad along with good because of his name, but he's proven to be his own man. No finer tribute from a father to his son.
Well, you can see this isn't just a Sunday afternoon ride.
No, he's fighting for everything he's getting out there.
Tough battle. Not much hope on that one. He has struggled all day in the rear. Terry Labonte struggling all day, came in as the point leader, now in 36th position. Started the day 21st, and it got worse. But for Jeff Gordon, he came in here 3 points behind Labonte. The day is as beautiful as the skies over Pennsylvania. Gorgeous day for a race. Temperatures have been perfect all day. We've had, what, 4 cautions to date? 4 and only 4. And the average speed is staying right at, we'll check that for you, 10 laps this time by. Can Dale Jarrett do it? As of now, Gordon would be your leader. Mark Martin goes to second. Terry Labonte falls all the way to third from first. The average speed now down to 141, so that's under the record. The record 144.8. That's owned by Wallace from 96. Todd Parrott doing a little coaching here for Jarrett as we get down to the end. 10 to go.
10 to go. I'll tell you what, I'd like to have a car that would run that fast pushing. I'm going to tell you, he's given up very little to Jeff Gordon. Jeff's going to have to just whittle away because Jarrett has backed his pace up and really got the car to handling and really matching the racetrack now.
And he's got that interval back where he wanted it.
He sure does. Now it's money time, and Dale Jarrett has shown he's up to the task.
But remember earlier, here's Kenny Wallace pitting. There you see the interval, first to second. Talking about how that number 88 was handling there.
But let's talk about something else. You know what it takes to lose that advantage? One slide, one turn. Just go in a little bit wide, lose concentration, or just go in over a lap car, and all of a sudden you're out in the gray stuff, and they're up on you just like that, and that deficit is cut.
And, you know, at the end of the day, that's when it's hard to keep that concentration. The heat is there. That's why I felt that the pressure was on Jarrett, but he's up to the task.
It's pretty hard to find any of these guys who get these rides in these chairs who aren't up to the test. These are the best of the best.
Not saying anything about anybody, but we watched Ernie Irvan just miss the line at the Brickyard last year just by one power whip, and he got out the loose stuff and lost the lead to Dale Jarrett just like that.
Here's Jimmy Spencer in 5th, trying to hold off Mike Skinner in 6th. Mike Skinner, Craftsman truck champion of NASCAR a year ago. And look at Skinner coming on after Jimmy. This could get interesting.
Mike Skinner has a wealth of knowledge as far as driving in the truck division. He was unbeatable. I think in a year or so, he's getting more seat time. He's getting more up towards the front. I think he's a real force.
8 laps to go. This show is not over.
He's in there.
Don't forget, Dale Jarrett and at the Dover with Jeff in the 24 car, they had action right at the end. This is not over. Anything can happen.
Take a look at Skinner down on the inside, fighting with Spencer.
Although we're not showing this right now, the 10 car of Ricky Rudd is coasting through the tunnel turn. It looks like he's having a problem right near the end of the race here.
Bad day for Rudd as he falls to 19th, but this is such a good slugfest right here. Look at Skinner. Looking his man over. Wants to shoot down to the inside off that tunnel turn. Skinner's fuel mileage will be the closer here. He pitted on lap 161 he was in. That left 39 laps. The most laps he had run today was 38.
Boy, is that a nail and a hammer going at it right there. I was looking. There's Mark Martin in 6th, right behind them there. You see him coming into view.
In 7th. Jarrett trying to build on the lead up over 1 6/10 seconds. Rudd slowly on the pit road. Mark Martin giving you these pictures now as he tries to work to the inside on Skinner. Skinner in the 31 is 6. Martin back there in 7. Like to gobble up both of these in his quest toward that Winston Cup title.
For Mark Martin, every position is so important because, like we say, he's probably going to move into second place in the point today. And you see him making a move on Skinner down through the short chute.
Martin takes 1, that's the 6. And he gets Spencer. Martin into 6. Spencer in that number 23, the yellow and blue car. Spencer has said, I'm not afraid of anybody. I'll run with anyone out there. And he's going to get a chance to run against one of the very best because here comes Mark Martin out of Batesville, Arkansas. And if there's one guy who is consistent and tough and strong in any race he enters, it's this guy, Mark Martin. I love to watch him race.
And look at Mark, looking to the outside of the turn.
You could see Jimmy Spencer get a little wide coming out of that corner there, too. So Mark is really working him over. He'll move back and forth there, trying to get him offline just a little bit. If you can get him looking in that mirror 9 out of 10 times, you can get by him.
This is where he wants to make his move right here.
Yeah.
There he goes. Inside of Spencer, going to turn 3. Whoa, close right there.
Bang.
He makes the pass.
Here comes Skinner now trying to put Spencer away, too. They rub a little bit as they come out of the turn.
These two have been known to rub a little paint through the year.
5 laps to go. 5 remaining this time by. Oh, my.
Oh, my is right.
Skinner and Spencer side by side. Don't go home. Don't adjust your set.
Look at Spencer trying to take that line away from him on the inside. Just, woohoo, I hope Skinner knows he's down there.
Think he's going to get it through? No, now he's got an advantage. 31 Skinner. Could see Spencer drawing up there. That car is not working as well in the second turn as you might wish.
Your leader's still Dale Jarrett. You see him going down the front straightaway there. He's the second car. You see Jeff and Jeff back there fighting for second and third. That's Jeff right there. Jeff Gordon, Jeff Burton, and the 99.
Not a mutt amongst them. They are something, those two. Jeff Gordon, the established star at only 25 years of age. And this other fellow, a little older, Jeff Burton. But gosh, what a comer he is.
I have to think Dale Jarrett knows how to get that carrot that's been out in front, but he's chasing it now and gaining on it.
Here he is by himself, and he's now building on his lead. It's getting fatter. But interestingly enough, Burton in the 99, with these laps running out, is catching up on Gordon. He's really whittled him down a little out there, folks. Take a look at this. The 24 to the 99. Second to third. Time running out. The J&J show getting a little better here. Definitely closing up is Jeff Burton for second spot. Got Jarrett out in front, and he's away. Something gets knocked off the rig, and he's in trouble. But other than that, it looks like a shoe-in from here.
Dale has shown us all day long that on the long run, he was the man.
This is what they call a walkover in Winston Cup racing. You guys leading by what? Almost 2 seconds out here.
Yeah, but let's watch this guy now. You watch him down the straightaway. He's still kind of resting that left hand down the straightaway. You see him change gears there as he goes down the front straightaway. You change gears. Anything can happen. You're still shifting gears. Watch him go in the corner, shift down. Watch his hands right here. He's busy, man. He ain't out there just riding around. You can make a mistake when you're fighting like that.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the pressure anymore now. He's starting to hear the gremlins in that car, though.
Woohoo. Got him by 3 seconds right now. The Intimidator may be Earnhardt, but the dominator here today is the 88. DJ's getting it done. Coming by, white flag about to be extended. Final lap. Down and out of 3. Dale Jarrett, 1 lap away.
One more time. Be smooth. You got it.
One more time. Be smooth. That he has been all day.
Todd Parrott's talking to him. You could hear him in the background there. Dale Jarrett's doing everything right now. And I think right now he's kind of in cruise mode and taking it easy. But look at Jeff Burton come in on, as you pointed out just a second ago, he is moving in just a little bit on Gordon.
Just digging is 99. Burton coming after Gordon here in the final lap. Jarrett swings it around for the final time, out to the wall. Short shoot. Pulls away. Gordon seems to have him covered again. Gets back a couple of car lengths from Burton. Checkered flag about to be extended. And the winner of the 24th annual Pennsylvania 500.
Got the best in the world right there, boys. Good job, DJ. Finally got this Pocono.
Good job, DJ. Dale Jarrett has done it. That kid looked good. Hope you're feeling a little better after you saw that one today. Yes, indeed. It's Dale Jarrett headed for victory lane. We'll be there to join him in just a moment. Be a pretty happy occasion for those folks. Gordon gets second, Burton third, Musgrave finishes in fourth.
Good job from the 28, guys.
This piece of hardware is headed for Hickory, North Carolina. And let's meet the man who's going to take it home. The Purelator Winner's Circle. Here's Steve.
And Dale Jarrett climbing out of the car. This is his third win of 1997 and his second victory in a Robert Yates car at Pocono. The last time came in the 28 car. Celebrating with the crew, Barry Swift, Tommy Mullis, the Parrott brothers. Boy, Dale, you guys showed a little bit of everything today. Pit strategy, and I know at the end of the race you were getting tight.
Well, it takes a little bit of everything, you know. These guys do such a terrific job. Todd did a great job of calling for 4 tires there. Engine's just awesome. Steve Allen, Doug Yates, Robert Yates, everybody in the engine shop, just fantastic. This baby here has won 3 races this year. This is just an awesome race car, but, you know, we've been close, just couldn't quite get it. Want to say hey to Kelly and my kids, Jason, Natalie, Carson, Zachary. This one's for you. Sorry you weren't here. Been here for the rest of them. I'll see you in a couple of days when I get home from Indy.
Dale, we heard with about 20 laps to go, you were telling the crew that you're getting tight, but then at the end you were able to pull away. Why was that?
Well, the car freed up a little bit, and I found a line that worked a little bit better with the tight race car. And so, you know, I just backed off, and, you know, I was running awful hard trying to pass Jeff Burton and get away from Jeff Gordon. And I was probably making it push a little more than it needed to, and then I calmed down a little bit, and everything was okay.
All right, great victory. Let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
Well, I'm standing by with Jimmy Spencer down here, guys, and we're out in the middle of a parking lot. So what are you doing out here, man? Great run.
Thanks, man. Getting these 2 cars loaded up to go home to get worked on, and the other 2 cars that my other guys brought up, we're going to Indianapolis tonight. So we're going to test tomorrow and Tuesday at Indianapolis, getting ready for the big one. You know, we had a decent run today. I mean, I'm pretty happy with a top 10 finish, but we had a lot better car than if we would have got it adjusted yesterday afternoon during happy hour. Lost that whole hour, and it really hurt us. And then we got it adjusted towards the last 40 or 50 laps and went too far in the last pit stop. When we did that, it got real loose and ended up costing us 4th, 5th spot. But we'll take it because it's been some tough luck lately. But Campbell team's worked hard, and look forward to next week at Indianapolis.
I'm sure he does. He runs well there. Let's go back up top to Ken Squire.
Now the Plastic Coat Winning Finish Award. Plastic Coat, the official spray paint of NASCAR, proud to sponsor this award that goes to Todd Parrott. Presented $3,000 to the crew chief of the highest finishing Winston Cup team participating in Plastic Coat's award program. And at the end of the year, it's worth some $50,000. Congratulations to Todd. With Jeff Gordon, here's Matt Yoakum.
Ken, Jeff Gordon made a gallant effort, coming back to finish second today. Better yet, he takes the points lead by 69 points. Congratulations, Jeff.
Thank you. You know, it was a good race for us today, and we're happy to come home second and get some momentum as we go into Indianapolis. But, you know, we had to fight hard all day today. You know, till those cautions came out, it was just me and Jarrett, but then you know, we had to throw Musgrave and Burton into that thing, and they were pretty tough. So, you know, we're just happy to have a Chevrolet up there because it was pretty tough on them today.
Congratulations. Another guy who had a good run today was Jeff Burton. He battled back from a crash car on Friday.
Mike Hogwood is with him.
Yeah, Jeff, a good run today, a strong top 5 finish. I know you're happy with it.
We are happy. You know, I got a good car in trouble the other day. We had to get a backup car off, but Holliver race cars are really good race cars. We got a little tight when we put on 2, and we just found out that the right rear was equalized, so that didn't help us any either. But I held the 88 off as long as I could. I blocked him. I drove him pretty bad there for a while, and finally he got a run on me, and I just couldn't do anything with him. But it's a good day for Roush racing. 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and Winston Cup racing is pretty respectable.
Ken Squire, strong run today for one of the bright young stars in the sport, Jeff Burton.
Bright star. Jeff Burton, a lot more to be heard from him. 11th career win for Jarrett, 11th win for Ford this year. Back with more in a moment.
The Pennsylvania 500 on TBS is brought to you by Miller Lite, to remind you that anything can happen at Miller Time. By Econo Lodge. Spend a night, not a fortune, at Econo Lodge. By Mobile Motor Oil. At Mobile, we've been changing oil for over 125 years. And by Napa Auto Parts. We keep America running.
Coming up next, WCW Pro Wrestling here on Superstation TBS. Next race, Charlotte Race Weekend, the All-Pro Bumper-to-Bumper 300 on Saturday. Then coming up on Sunday, Winston Cup Racing, October 5th, the UAW GM Quality 500. Great day of racing here in Pennsylvania today. Let's take a look at the results, get a quick comment from Buddy Baker.
Well, I just think that Jack Roush is so close to just dominating this thing. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. A great run by Mark Martin again.
And Greg Sachs, nice to have you with us today. Hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks. How about Dale Jarrett? Told me he needed to put the pressure on the leaders. He did it.
Didn't he, though? All day long. Gave it such a great run. Take a look at these final standings, folks. The very best of the best, the Winston Cup stars, with their final performance at Pocono, Pennsylvania for 1997. And my, didn't they shine out here today. Looked like a record crowd was on hand to enjoy this moment in Winston Cup racing. Well, the field will move on. This is the 18th race. Let's take a quick look at the points here, buddy, as we get down to the end of this one and the folks begin to file out. Point standings after today.
Boy, Jeff Gordon, everything's going right. Mark Martin just 64 back, though.
Yes, indeed.
Charlie Bonney, 114, and Dale Jarrett tied at 114.
28 years ago today, it was Neil Armstrong walking on the moon, that history-making moment. And today was a small adventure that still represents that spirit of American adventure, that willingness to reach out beyond the limits and go just one step further, one step better. Congratulations are in order for Dale Jarrett in number 88, for Glenn Jarrett, Mike Hogwood, Steve Burns, Matt Yoakum, Buddy Baker, Greg Sachs. I'm Ken Squire. So long, everybody, from Superstation TBS.
The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of Turner Sports. In 1998, cable television's exclusive hosts for the 18th Olympic Winter Games from Nagano, Japan, and the 4th Goodwill Games from New York.